them representing North America. Fnatic, well, you can say representing Europe, but also just representing Fnatic very well. Of course, being a 3-time returning champion. So
exactly. You know, and it makes me wonder a little bit what TDM is thinking right now. You know, are they going to play this just like they did the last game with a very straight-up strategy, farm, and just with good decision-making, or are they going to try something a little more interesting? Are they going to try maybe one of those surprise hero picks that we've heard a little bit of talk about from some of these teams? I don't know. If there is a time to pull out that wild card, this is it.
Yeah, this is the cool thing about a best-of-3 series. Obviously, we've been doing a best-of-1 all throughout the weekend so far because of the group stages. That's how it was formatted. But now we finally get best-of-3s. And this is what I'm more used to. And, of course, people that do tune into Honcast frequently, you know, this is a lot more the style that you expect out of a lot of tournaments. So it's a great format because, again, you got that first game. So no matter what, at least having 2 games. But you see those adjustments. You can actually see it in real time happening from the picking stage all the way to the laning phase and all the way throughout the second game even. So, but, yeah, I mean, what are we going to see here? I really think a Dark Lady ban is going to happen. I mean, she just dominated the last game. I mean, sure, you can be confident that you have another way to stop her, but when a hero just does that to you in the first game, we usually see them banned in the second game, no matter who it is. So
the scary thing, though, is, you know, we talked about Dark Lady versus Mage Ban. If they ban Dark Lady, I mean, are they going to ban every single melee hard carry so that Era just can't get out of control? Force Era to play Silhouette or some ranged carry that he's still very good at, mind you, but not his, what's the right word here, his best of the best. I think Era really shines with those melee agility hard carries. That's truly what he's suited for.
I think that's his forte. You know,
yeah,
you got
forte,
players,
that's the word. There you go.
You got players that, you know, I think No-Tail, I think solo mid. I think Scandal, I think solo mid. I think Chu, I think crazy aggressive ganker maniac.
I think Cinder, I think hard support.
I think Cinder, hard support, Nova, hard support. Yeah, you know, it's just that role that you define players with, and Era, no doubt, he's that melee hard carry is what really stands out in my mind. So,
absolutely.
He does it very, very effectively, and, you know, in a meta right now where we don't see him those melee hard carries all too frequently. Era just loves to play them and does very well on them. So, and another thing to note, so even if they haven't banned Darkin, let's not forget, Mage Ban was also unbanned last game.
Yeah, exactly. That's the scary part.
Option.
How do you shut down? You can't ban Era. How do you shut this down?
Don't ask me. Don't ask me, because I have no clue. Let's hope that for TDM's sake, though, they do have an answer to that. I will say TDM, an interesting hero that they were bringing up is Deadwood. They were saying that the possibility of seeing Deadwood from them play. And I think they have actually played it once or twice throughout the group stages. So
the other hero that comes to mind is Soulstealer. I brought it up a few times, and until now I've been saying, I talked to some players, but Moon was actually the one I talked to that it could have been a little troll Moon action, you know. But he was saying Soulstealer is really never. But he was saying Soulstealer really is becoming a bit more viable as he just farms so quickly. Especially he did get that minor buff recently where he doesn't only loses a third of the souls instead of half when he dies. So
it helps.
A step in the right direction. You know, those as we've seen, those little changes really do influence drafting quite a bit. So we'll see.
Looks like there was some restroom breaks, but it looks like we are just about good to go here. So I believe Game 2 may be getting started very shortly, and we'll be entering that banning phase. So TDM versus Fnatic again. No, never mind. Nova disconnected, so a little bit longer. But Trademark eSports, though, of course, they are down 1-0 again. A loss here, and you're going to be swept 2-0, and it's obviously I don't want to say it made this trip not even worth it in the end, and it was over or not. Of course, the trip's by all means worth it. I mean, you got a full Fate Extends trip to come to Sweden here to DreamHack event, and it's been obvious that they're enjoying themselves, and you know, as they should be, because it just you're here for the experience ultimately. I mean, winning's great and all, but I guess it's easy for me to say, but
absolutely.
But yeah, of course, all these guys are competitors, so of course want to win no matter what. But
and just looking at the DreamHack website, I'm looking at the team Fnatic with stats, and what's really interesting is that Nova actually has the highest average KDA to death ratio, which is really interesting. You know, you don't normally think of a support player as one who's going to have the highest kill assist to death ratio, but he actually does, just because he's died so little throughout this tournament, which
that's impressive.
Speaks to his power as a support player. I mean, that really is an impressive statistic to look at.
You're right. I mean, being that ward bitch support that he pretty much plays every single game, you know, a big sacrifice of them is that they're going to die. I mean, it's just the inevitable. But Nova not only is very good at getting those wards out, giving vision to the team, and stacking the camps, but he also doesn't die. He doesn't feed those kills to the opponent's carries and whatnot, as is evidence, as you're seeing right there, with the stats. So, again, go to DreamHawn.com, guys. You can find all those stats on there with the team profiles on the stats section. So, plenty of information there to work with.
Anything that you could ever want to know about DreamHawn is on DreamHawn.com.
Imagine that.
probably everything you'd want to know and more. There's a lot of cool features, so by all means, check it out. And you can even actually learn a little bit more about the teams as well. Some nice pictures and a little bit of just information about the teams, which is always good.
Their age. Yeah, some basic stats. So looks like Nova has reconnected, so
good to hear.
Hopefully we are going to be just about ready to get things going here with game number 2 between Trademark eSports and Fnatic. Recall again, after this, I believe it's a set time, and well, with the way this is going, I mean, very likely we'll be after it anyways. But TT Esports, of course, going to be playing BlackFade.org in game number 2, or the series number 2, actually, in their best out of 3. So
TT Esports looking pretty good, of course. Just to reiterate again, for those of you that may have missed the memo, TT Esports was the highest ranked team in the group stage.
Yep.
So they did get to pick their opponent. They chose BlackFade, so we'll see them coming up around 7 o'clock CET.
Yeah, and there was some interesting theory crafting going on. I already talked about how Novo thought of it, but then there was the case of they were going to pick Trademark because they wanted BXF to play against Fnatic because they feel BXF has the best chance out of all the teams to beat Fnatic.
Right.
And so they don't want to have to play Fnatic in the Dream Arena. So there was talk of that possibly going on in that strategy. So again, it is it's a mind game. Just because you get the decision doesn't make it easy by any means.
Yeah, that's true. It sounds good, but when you actually have to pick a team, I got quite a few tells from people with all sorts of different theory crafting on how they should pick. And it's interesting to hear. It's everybody.
So apparently 2 of the players have disappeared on Fnatic side. So not sure. Okay, yeah, it sounds like they just went to the restroom. So should be back hopefully shortly, and then game 2 will be resuming.
So, yeah, I believe they went to the bathroom. They need a VIP bathroom for players and casters. You don't have to wait in line because I think every time I've used the restroom, there's been a line. So it's
line, it's one downside.
It's a fairly male-heavy event, as most esports things tend to be.
I think so.
So,
well, $60,000 prize pool.
Well, speak of the devil, I just got a message from Leon Black, and he said we were never going to pick TDM. That was the one team we absolutely didn't want to face again. That's what he said.
Yeah. See, I don't know who I heard that, but probably wasn't even TT Esports that I heard that from. It was just somebody else.
Yeah. No, he just said they definitely because we were thinking that too. They beat TDM to get that first place spot. So we were thinking, well, you beat TDM now. Perhaps you just want to continue the series, continue that momentum. Certainly ways to go about it.
Well, they chose BXF.
They chose BXF. That's the way the cookie crumbled.
That's how it's going to play out. So that's what matters in the end. Now, again, it set up 2 very good series. I mean, no matter what, it would have been great. But here we go, Fnatic versus TDM for our first series as a result of that. And again, no complaints here as far as the caster and spectator goes. So
certainly not.
Yeah, that Dark Lady just tore stuff up that first game. From there, I really want to get into this picking phase. I mean, it's rare to be excited about getting just in the picking phase alone, but
this is a big game.
I'm really interested to see
a big game
where they go from here. It is, and I'll say in the past, and I think DreamHack Winter definitely had it with the excitement level. Going from the semifinals to the finals, it was a great event as well, as is this event, of course. But this is just definitely one of the I think this is going to be, it has to be one of the more exciting finishes we've ever had to any event ever. I mean, it's the biggest HON prize pool that we've ever had, so that right there obviously helps out. You got 4 of the best teams in the world playing now for that piece of that prize pool in a best of 3 semifinal format. I mean, it just can't get any better, doesn't seem like, with this format. So, yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree. So it looks like at least one of the players is back, if not both now. So I know we said this a couple times already, but we really should be starting in just a couple moments here. Impending the blue screen gods are with us.
Yeah. Well, expect pauses.
Expect pauses.
I'll just say that now if you haven't been tuning in for whatever reason.
Yes.
There will be pauses. You can pretty much guarantee that in the game, but again, that's how it goes. Now, this is a series, though. This is game 2 in the best of 3. You would hope that technical issues would be figured out by now.
Yeah, some of those, at least by now, the key bindings have been resolved. As there's that window of opportunity now after the game where you can play around, fix those key binds, what have you.
Yeah.
So looks like Fnatic is officially ready. Hopefully TDM is still prepared and ready.
Just a matter of TDM responding now.
Yeah, I have to say, Breaky, I would really love to see Z-Free play jungler here for what could be the last game for TDM in the tournament if they lose this.
Have we seen him play jungler yet? I don't know if we have, actually.
I can't recall a game. I don't want to say he hasn't played a jungler at all, but he's been playing Behemoth, Aluna, Magmus-style heroes much more than his kind of classic junglers, which has really been interesting and, well, at first, actually quite surprising.
Yeah. So, just trying to figure out this first pick, so, and then we will be good to go as soon as they do. But yeah, it would be fun to see Z-Free playing that more jungle role that we're used to seeing, but as this tournament has shown, I mean, jungle has died down quite a bit in terms of it being a very popular, just really the go-to strategy. We really haven't seen a whole lot of it in general in this tournament. So
yeah, and the few that we've seen actually haven't been super successful. You know, we haven't seen too many junglers just take over. You know, we've seen some Parasites, we've seen Tempest a couple times, a couple Keepers. Really not much Ophelia. Ophelia's been a very popular ban.
I think we've maybe seen one Ophelia.
Yeah, she's been banned like 80–90% or so, it seems. Kind of on par with Nymphora.
You know what that means? We need to see Legionnaire. I haven't seen Legionnaire yet.
Legionnaire, yeah, that's...
that'd be fun.
That would be good.
Apparently they're having issue. They're like uncertain of who's supposed to have the first pick or why not. So it looks like they may have figured it out. And okay, the go-go's have been given. The countdown has started.
The countdown has started. It's official.
We made it. It's official. All right. We made it to the banning phase. That's what matters. Okay. So, game number 2 here between Fnatic and Trademark eSports is officially getting started here. Yes,
that's right, guys. Let's hear some noise for these two teams.
For that, too.
Fnatic and Trademark eSports.
You know, obviously waiting around just like all of us, but it is finally starting. So, of course, being excited for that. So, the bans, though, you know, where you got your Armadon and Pebbles to kick things off here again. I got my eye on that Dark Lady. As we see a Zephyr ban actually coming out from Trademark eSports. So, seems to come out of left field a little bit.
Just a little bit. I mean, we really haven't seen too much Zephyr from these two teams. I think Fnatic may have mixed them in once or twice last night, but you're right. That does seem kind of, given it's game 2, a little bit interesting. But we'll see how the rest of the bans unfold here.
That's not something we missed in game 1. Like, he wasn't banned game 1, was he?
I don't believe so.
That's interesting.
Yeah, definitely right. And just to reiterate again, I know some people are asking me, the first place prize is $35,000.
Yeah.
Of course, the total prize pool is 60, but that first place prize is 35. So first place, much more meaty than the others, and it goes all the way down to 4th place, I do believe.
Yeah, I want to say, again, don't quote me on this, I believe it's 35,000, 15,000, then 8,000, 10,000, I think is how it's played. I'm not exactly sure, though.
I know it's 35 for first.
I shouldn't be saying that. Yeah, it's 35 for first. Definitely guarantee that. But as far as the split after that, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm sure it's actually even on the DreamHack side. I didn't even check that myself. But anyways, so the bans continue here. But yeah, seeing that Zephyr ban, still a little bit awkward here from Trademark eSports, trying to think of a little bit of reasoning here. But I don't know, just wasn't seeing that first game whatsoever. I mean, you didn't mention that Fnatic has been playing a couple of games of Zephyr, so maybe it's just a case of it gained to him that didn't want to have to play against it this time around. Not too sure, but Behemoth going to be banned by TDM, so I want to make sure once again not to have Hani get Behemoth.
Yeah, exactly right. And again, Behemoth, one of these sort of breakout bans almost. Who, you know, we've seen him hit or miss, and in this tournament, it's been a lot of Behemoth action, picked and banned at a pretty popular frequency.
Yeah.
Tundra, of course. Poor Moon Meander. I don't think he's ever going to be able to play Tundra again.
No,
he practiced that Tundra, got quite good, and that's what they say. You know, now Tundra gets banned against us every game.
Yeah.
So Moon's been forced to learn some new heroes, unfortunately.
Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen for him.
And
but he knows how to play other heroes. Jeremiah is going to be the final ban, so no Dark Lady ban here. We'll see if that does come up throughout this game. So clearly TDM pretty confident that either Fnatic just won't pick it up again or that they have a better way to deal with it than last game, because that was just ridiculous. But Aluna going to be the first pick, so you know, before this event, maybe make a comment about that. But after we've casted so much of this event already and have seen some results, can't say I'm too surprised about Aluna first pick anymore.
No, I'm not surprised at all. Aluna's been a very powerful hero throughout this tournament, and I don't know if we really have access to statistics to look at heroes overall, saying, you know, what's Aluna's overall KDA in this tournament, that kind of stuff.
No, we don't.
But I imagine it would be quite good.
That would
most
awesome.
of the Aluna play we've seen so far has been pretty strong. I mean, she's just an extraordinarily powerful hero.
There we go with Ophelia. We were talking about that in the pregame. You know, really maybe one game of Ophelia that we've seen so far throughout this tournament. But here we go. Ophelia picked up by Fnatic. Wouldn't be surprised to see Fly eventually take the reins of Ophelia. Or maybe Hani. I know Hani actually has a little bit of experience playing Ophelia as well. So we'll see who they eventually give it to. But strong couple of picks there. Now, Parasite is on the board still. So it does make me curious a little bit that, you know, TDM now has a chance to pick up Parasite here. And not necessarily be a true hard counter to Ophelia, but it's just an annoying, I think, counter is a good way to put it.
Well, you're right. I mean, it's not a hard. He can take over creeps, and that certainly is a counter. But the big thing is that Parasite is a great counter jungler. So in that early phase, if he wants to really kind of grief Ophelia, he can come in and steal those creeps. And, you know, when that command is level 1, you can only have 1 creep. So if she takes a creep and it's stuck on cooldown, that really can cripple Ophelia early on.
Yeah.
So that is one thing Parasite can do, though not a true hard counter. Certainly can slow her down to start things off.
Yeah, very, very true. So we'll see if we get to see that Z-Freak jungle action here as a result of a pickup like that. But Pharaoh, Forsaken Archer are going to be the next 2 picks over here from TDM, our Hellborn team. So going to see the Pharaoh pick up. Again, a hero we haven't seen too much in this event, but nonetheless very powerful in his own right. Love seeing the level 2 or level 6, level 7 Pharaoh start roaming around, using that Wrath of the Pharaoh with the hook and setting up some kills. So interesting to see him as that 3rd pick, but hey, confident that he will be very effective for them. So the next couple of picks coming up for Fnatic, though. You see them right-clicking that Polywog Priest, so possible no-tail Polywog combination going to be coming up here.
Yeah, and you know, leaving that Polywog Priest open is maybe a little bit surprising. We've seen No-Tail play a lot of Polywog Priest, and he's another hero that's actually been picking up quite a few bans in this event.
Yeah.
Quite powerful. Some good Polywog Priest play, and there he is. Pick the Polywog, ready up. Very, very confident, as No-Tail should be.
Yeah, he's definitely pretty damn good with that hero, if I say so myself.
He's okay.
But look at the lineup so far. 4 Intellect heroes.
Wow.
Picked up by Fnatic. So.
That's true.
Of course, you got Ophelia jungle. You got Bubbles, Polywog Priest solo. So Glacius, and then it seems like, you know, something like, well, obviously Armadon's banned. So Zephyr's banned. Oh, yeah, I can't do that. So maybe that ban makes more sense now. Electrician, I guess, would still be a legitimate option here for our Legion side as being a final possible pick. Look at that right-click Tremble. That would be something. That would be a curveball. Now, Tremble was a hero that we did see quite a bit at DreamHack Winter, actually, especially earlier on. Are we actually going to see Tremble?
It has been a long time since I have seen a Tremble, and wow. So we were talking about this is the time to pull out those wild cards, do something different. TDM's going to do that. Tralfmador going to play Tremble. And actually, you know, Diva brought this up last night, talking about Tralfmador as a very, very skilled player. And, you know, not to put words in his mouth, but he commented that Tralfmador, in his opinion, is one of the best players in the world because he's so versatile and because he has such great micro, and actually cited that he is a fantastic Tremble player.
Yeah, well, I was just going to be, the Mage Bane final pick from Fnatic. So I'm sure that'll be swapped to Era, and there you go. So Era will gladly take Mr. Mage Bane right there. But yeah, seeing that Tremble pick up. Now, on that point, Tralfmador, again, we did see him a couple of times at DreamHack Winter. In fact, even in the finals of DreamHack Winter, where actually Frey used him against Fnatic MSI. And I believe that was their victory that they had at game number 1, I think it was, where Jabba Waba, I believe, is a great, great individual, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Sad that he's not here. But anyways, so yeah, we have seen a lot in that last event, but he got some heavy nerfs. I mean, his minion was nerfed. His what is it called? Shudder? No, they changed that, right? Boris. They changed the Boris. That's right. How could I forget that? The minion Boris did take some nerfs.
I'm sure Shudder will come out a few times throughout this cast. Yeah. It's one of those things kind of engraved in my memory as well. But yeah, you know, Tremble was nerfed pretty hard in, well, I want to say a recent patch, though. I think it was 2 or 3 months ago now. Like you said, when they changed it to Boris, and I'll be honest, I'm actually sort of blanking on some of the changes that they made. I think they reduced his damage.
Yeah.
There were a whole lot of changes made to scale him a little bit better. Because Boris is just so strong. You know, before it was sort of like a secondary hero.
Exactly. He could literally solo your pitchboard support. Like, he could solo a Glacius. Yeah. It was just ridiculous. It's how much damage he could do and catch you off guard.
I mean, it's still, even though the nerfs, Tremble's still an extremely high skill cap hero. Again, with that micro ability, you can farm in 2 places at once. You can take that Boris, put him in the jungle, put him in another lane, and maximize your farm.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to bring up, though. Again, you know, now that we see a Tremble, getting an idea of when we did used to see Tremble, the great thing about this hero is that The microing aspect is huge with him, of course. The fact that he has that minion to control, you have to take advantage of that. But this seems like the more successful Tremble players would play very aggressively with the Boris. They wouldn't necessarily farm with him. They would actually go to other lanes, make him basically a 6th player for your team, setting up ganks at the other lanes while Tremble pushes in another lane. So very aggressive Tremble players. Not only that, but spreading your mines out, spreading your mine, or your whatever they're called. Are they called mines? The terraform is what they're called, but whatever. I'm gonna call them mines. Spreading these mounds, I guess. I don't know why I'm saying mines. Mounds. That's what I'm looking for. Spread them out all over the place. And go from, all the way from the top where it looks like he's starting all the way to the bottom lane. So you're able to move from lane to lane very, very quickly and effectively. So, and Tralfamador, he did play it a couple times, I want to say, at the last DreamHack event, and is an impressive Tremble player. So I'm really excited now to see him play this Tremble hero. Exactly right. And I do want to comment on Fnatic's lineup here. And, we talked about their 4 intellect heroes, and of course Magebane was their last pick. And I think that was really, really smart. We've talked about hard carries a little bit throughout this tournament, and the point has been, if you have that hard carry that needs the AFK static farm, you need to build a team around that. You have to have a team that can put some pushing pressure on, defend the pushes from the other team, and kind of hold their own a little bit. And heroes like Polywog Priest, Bubbles, and Ophelia are absolutely perfect for that. So, I like both teams' rosters, but Fnatic, I think, has a very well-suited roster for the strategy they're trying to execute. Yeah, they definitely have a good 4-man team surrounding that Magebane that has a little bit of pushing power, has a lot of gank potential. So that's going to be, the opportunity for Fnatic to just buy time for, as we see so many games, and, kind of as we saw last game for that matter, lo and behold. With him playing the Dark Lady, going to be the same case here. So, as far as the lane shaping up, Magebane at this bottom lane, he is 1 versus 1 versus this Pharaoh. You do see Glacius, though, starting off with Ophelia even helping her a little bit right there. But now he is going to go towards the bottom lane. And it looks to set up some ganks, perhaps actually going to do some stacking before he goes all the way down there. But Magebane should have very effective and pretty much free farm at the bottom lane. So, always a dangerous thing, but Hellborn team pretty confident in their other lanes, is my guess. So. Absolutely. I mean, B-Kid's definitely going to be frustrated down here. Once Magebane gets that mana burn, he's going to be up, or mana combustion, pardon me. Once he gets up there in his face, Pharaoh's just not going to have that mana pool to continue harassing. And already, I mean, just look how far back B-Kid's playing. He sees Nova come in on that Glacius. And, playing back very far up in the top lane. Bubbles in big trouble. We see Z-Freak already coming in. Tralfamador with that slow doing a lot of damage. I think we'll be able to secure this kill, though. Hani actually going to be able to survive, and just barely at that. But off to a very aggressive start. Well, Parasite came in there with a Minotaur, actually, and I thought he missed the stun, but the shell surf port happened, and it was one of those cases where Hani actually didn't even port long enough to get out of range of the Minotaur stun. So he kind of panicked a little bit too quickly right there. I mean, maybe he just had to no matter what. But anyways, got stunned, so I was like, oh my god, they may actually get the kill. But obviously we saw in the end result, he was fine. Parasite was attempting to do some path blocking right there, but wasn't able to get in front. So Bubbles will survive. But again, if you are going to... Tremble's a very difficult hero to solo against. I think that's safe to say. And so we have seen a lot here. Well, not a lot, but when we do see him picked up, that's definitely a point that we make. It's a tough decision to make, but if you're going to solo against him, you're pretty much saying, you know what, you're going to win this lane, because Bubbles, just like a lot of other solo heroes, not able to stand up against a Tremble. And we see so far, and I'm sure as this game progresses, that is going to be the case here. He's already 10-3 compared to that 4-0 Bubbles here. So. Yeah, Tremble's certainly off to a great start, but talk to me a little bit about the Tremble versus Magebane carry. I mean, obviously Magebane is a slightly harder carry, but is this one of these situations where Tremble's going to peak a little bit earlier than Magebane to open up that window of opportunity for Trademark eSports? Yeah, I mean, peak a little bit earlier. I think that is a safer way to put it. I mean, he gets that early home with the Black Legion, and then we'll see where he goes from here. I'm seeing Hellfly, I know, tends to be a pretty popular pickup on him, actually, depending on his playstyle, wherever he wants to go about it. But he will be a little bit more useful in the earlier stage, in the sense that he can push towers pretty effectively. He can set up very aggressive ganks earlier on than later. So, but when it comes to just true hard carry, yeah, no doubt, Magebane will be the one to take over the game. I'm very confident in saying that. Yeah. But Tremble does have that early to mid-game potential that can be very, very devastating if he starts to get out of hand. So. I think a Tremble player, and again, with the start that he's having, that's, just like Magebane getting free farm down here at the bottom lane, Tremble's getting free farm at the top lane. But once again, look at Era's farm. I mean, 20 and 15, this guy does not miss creep kills, it seems like, let alone denies even. I mean, it's just ridiculous how you compare him to everyone else in the game, and he's just that much further ahead already. Yeah,
I don't know how he does it. He is just an extremely skilled player when it comes to executing this role. Like you said, he just doesn't miss creep kills in this static farming environment. We see Pharaoh just kind of hanging around here. B-Kid doing what he can, but sitting on 69 gold per minute. I believe that's just static gold gain here, and indeed it is that he has 0 and 0 as far as the creep score is concerned.
Yeah. Oh, Nova, you're good at doing that. Getting no farm and still being somehow very useful for your team. So once again, going to be accomplishing that. It looks like roaming around a little bit. Polywalk Priest in the middle lane, crippling volley going to hit. Perhaps a bloodlust kill going to be coming out. Nope, uphill attacks. And Polywalk Priest will be fine with the pressure being applied. However, No Tail, a little bit careful right there, and that was for very good reason, obviously. As getting on that uphill definitely helped his chances right there. In the meantime, at the top lane, Bubbles does have a shell support, but it's going to take some heavy harassment here from Tremble before he is able to get away. So, yeah, the pressure definitely starting to kick up here a notch for our Hellborn team at least in the middle and the top lane. You know, again, that's something that they really need. They need to win those lanes, especially with allowing Magebane to free farm here at the bottom. And so far, it does seem like it's working out fairly effectively, but Magebane's farm is pretty phenomenal. Forsaken Archer getting jumped on, though, by Polywalk Priest. Nice stun from Maluna, however, as Glacius and Ophelia running in the Catman champion there, of course, but not nearly enough damage. I was expecting a ward trap, but obviously then I realized, oh, he's only level 4, so never mind. But gank attempts happening, but they're not actually being successful. So 5 minutes in, still no bloodlust kill.
Yeah, certainly right. Again, just like last game, both sides, I think it's a sign of respect. Both teams just not going to overcommit early on. But I completely agree with you. TDM really needs to win these lanes. Not break even in the lanes, not avoid death, but they need to win. They need to set up some early kills and try to pull ahead relatively early on, because letting that Magebane free farm is like playing with fire. That's saying, all right, you're going to free farm. You're still not going to be that super strong until later on. That will give us a window of opportunity, but they have to make sure they hit that timing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm intrigued, man, about this Tremble. And again, you know, talking about earlier, the more I've had time to think about it and, you know, look back at it, because again, it's been a while since we've seen him. But
yeah.
So I mentioned the Hellflower, you know, possible pickup. You got your Mocker Brilliance, that definitely tends to be an item choice on him. Shrunken Head, wouldn't be surprised. I've even seen, you know, Shieldbreaker going for just a raw single target physical damage on him. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what Trough decides to do. Speaking of him, though, he ports to the middle lane actually with the minion right there. Polywalk Priest may end up going down. There we go. Bloodlust kill coming out, and that's the power of micro control right there. He sent Boris to the middle lane, set up a mound for him to port to, and ends up getting the kill on a Polywalk Priest. Very good execution from Tralfamador right there.
Absolutely right. You hit the nail on the head there, Breaky. That is what Tremble is all about, and it looks much easier than it actually is.
Yeah.
That looked like a very easy, straightforward kill, but a lot of micromanagement going down there for Tralfamador. Very, very high APM player, and also very high useful APM player.
Yeah. Yeah, just very good control in general. So he's back to the top lane. He goes, though, and going to continue his farming to pick up a life tube. So as stated, you know, that early Helmet of Black Legion can be a very powerful pickup for him and help his farm even that much more, as well as his presence in the lane. So yeah, he'll go back to the top lane after picking up those items. Forsaken Archer with a haze rune and kind of running around in the jungle, almost ran into a Skeleton King being controlled by Ophelia, but in the end it will be fine. So Polywalk Priest, I mean, No-Tail getting completely locked down here in the middle lane. It does have a 16-4 creeper, it's not completely, I guess, but obviously with that death now, and he has just continued to play very, very passive from every time I look at him, it seems like. So, but again, you can't blame him. That's really just because of the circumstance. But yeah, been a very difficult start here for Polywalk.
Absolutely. I mean, Aluna and Forsaken Archer is sort of on par with that Forsaken Archer Glacius combo. There is still that Aluna stun to set up that crippling volley very easily for Archer, and just so much damage output again. Why Aluna is such a great support is because she can put out that huge burst potential, even at low level.
52 creep kills and 39 denies on Magebane. I just cannot get over these numbers. So we do see at, middle lane, Polywalk Priest, barely gets away. No, not going to get away. The power throw help finish him off. So once again, Tremble assisting right there. You see the Boris minion over in the middle lane. Speaking of Tremble, he goes up top with some assistance from Parasite. But it looks like Bubbles, Bubbles actually able to shell surf away, so we'll be fine. But bottom tower being pushed in right now, and Magebane's goal per minute is going to skyrocket after this tower kill. Unless they defend it. I don't think they are, though. Pharaoh's level 5. He's somewhat nearby, but this is going to be a free tower kill. And Magebane, again, is actually falling back. Maybe wait for the next creep wave, but I believe should still be able to kill it. But speaking of that, I mean, pulled the goal per minute chart. Maybe a little bit surprised, but Tremble, though, is actually leading the way at now 400 goal per minute. Obviously, being involved in both of those kills, including getting the bloodlust kill, definitely a big reason for that. So
Yeah.
Tralfamador doing work up here at the top lane.
Absolutely, and one of the other things we haven't really touched on is that our Hellborn side actually has 2 carries. They have that Forsaken Archer who's farming very well also, above 300 GPM, who's been doing that consistently. So although Magebane's farming very nicely, you know, they have that late game carry potential again. Up in the top lane, though, some action. Yeah,
we do see Tremble getting Ward Trap completely. He's trying to aid his way out of there. It's not going to happen, though. Tremble will fall. Parasite, in the meantime, going to infest a creep. Maybe help turn this around because Forsaken Archer and Luna are joining the party. You see Bubbles about half-life, but no, the War is just a little bit too powerful, going to keep them away. So a great kill on a Tremble right there coming out from Fnatic. The Kelp field to initiate, and the easy Ward Trap from Polywog Priest. So just as we get finished complimenting Tralfamador, and you know, his success so far this game, almost as if we jinxed him a little bit right there. He ends up getting jumped and taken out. So
yeah, definitely a bit unfortunate. But again, the power of Polywog Priest, why we've been seeing him so much in this tournament. Oh, there's that bottom tower finally going down. Magebane actually getting relatively low after a nice piercing arrows. Unfortunately, just not enough damage to finish him off. And there it is. He's going to buy that mana tube and finish off that sustainer. So Magebane's farm still looking quite good, leading the way just below 400 GPM.
Yeah. Definitely skyrocketing in there. So, of course, with a Tremble of Death, slowing him down a bit. But now he's going to start pushing the tower himself, it looks like, with the assistance of both Parasite and Aluna. So this tower yet to take any damage. We're going to start right here. You see him placing the mountain right beyond, just in case. The Boris minion going to actually attract the creep wave and going to pull it away, as well as then look to take it out right here. A nice power throw, so they're making an aggressive push here at the top lane. Well, Bubbles and Polywog Priest coming in. Polywog Priest, though, of course, doesn't have his wards. That's a pretty big deal. Boris will be taken out right there after throwing his net out, but you do see about 416 life currently remaining on this tower, and, of course, the mound will be destroyed here as well. So top tower push, it's still going to come, though, as we do have even Forsaken Archer heading over. So a big, big push now incoming from our Trademark eSports team. They really want to get this tower, and it looks like they are going to get it here.
Yeah, exactly, and it looks like, well, all of them up here means they were looking to try and set up a kill, but unfortunately Fnatic just reacted very appropriately and didn't really pose any kind of defense, and I think that was certainly the right choice given that everyone on TDM was missing.
Yeah.
So at TDM, you know, I was thinking they may try and push that secondary tower as well, but it looks like they're just going to take that tier 1 and then port back to their lanes. We see both Aluna and Forsaken Archer headed to the mid to try and fend off this tower. Pharaoh coming around the back, and looks like they are going to be able to pick up a couple of kills here on Fly's minions.
Lo and behold, while this is all going on, Magebane just doing his thing here at the bottom lane. Surprise, surprise. Now 74 and 46 creep farm, 390 gold per minute. But again, Tremble, especially with that tower kill, he's keeping up with this Magebane. So you got to give a lot of credit, continue to give a lot of credit here to this Tremble player. Again, being played by Tralfamador. He sends the minion in. There's the hook on a Bubbles. Obviously just harassing him a little bit. We'll need to be a little bit careful, though. Polywog Priest, level 7, ready to run, and in comes with the Striders. There's the Hex. The War Trap not successful, though. Able to skirt away. Will it be enough for Tremble? No, it will not. The Tongue-Tied holding him in place, and a kill coming out right there. So great gank set up on a Tralfamador. You know, it kind of makes you wonder why our Hellborn team isn't doing more of that against that Magebane.
Exactly, and that was sort of where my mind was going after seeing that gank as well. No-Tail's been doing a fantastic job staying active. You know, we were talking about how in that mid lane he was kind of getting shut down. Of course, he is 2-2, the only 2 deaths that Fnatic Raid Calls experienced so far. So what did he do? He left that lane and set up ganks elsewhere. Now he's been able to set up 2 kills on Tralfamador. And I agree with you. I think that's something that TDM needs to do to era here.
Oh, well, Port coming in the middle lane after Ophelia is pushing it a little bit. It is going to be Tremble, so he'll just clean it up and prevent this tower from actually being destroyed. But speaking of Magebane, it looks like the pressure is coming in a little bit now with Forsaken Archer and Pharaoh joining the party. Pharaoh hitting level 6 finally, so expect some Wrath of the Pharaohs to start coming out in the near future and landing some great ultimates. So, yeah, we'll see if that happens in the near future. Again, being played by B-Kid here for Trademark eSports. Maybe having something set up at the bottom lane. But Magebane, realizing that there's pressure now being applied at the bottom lane, he's going to go to the middle lane instead and continue his farm in there. So, again, just the very smart heads-up play and what helps him be one of the highest GPM players in the game right now. I mean, that just in general, not even this specific game, but because he knows how to farm. You know, you can't waste time. You just got to go where the next best place is from time to time, and just did that right there. But there's that Wrath of the Pharaoh that we're talking about, the crippling volley, not in time though, and Mage being able to blink away, so the gank attempt unsuccessful. I mean, you can't blame Forsaken Archer. That's a very quick blink away, but that was really close right there.
Yeah, this is starting to get a little bit more difficult for TDM now. I mean, they're just struggling to shut down this mage. As we saw there, he was able to blink away so easily. I mean, that wasn't even really a scary situation for him so much. They do have that Parasite, though, which is absolutely great. And I think Z-Freak needs to, maybe even come down to this Legion jungle a little bit with the team, try and put some pressure on Magebane. I mean, that's really the only silence they have, so that face hug is going to be so valuable to shutting down Magebane.
Oh yeah, it's going to be very, 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 very powerful here for our Hellborn team against the Magebane in terms of locking him down and getting the burst kill onto him like you really want to and, well, need to do against him. So, but that's the point I was going to bring up too. I know they only have 2 hero kills in general now coming up to the 14-minute mark, but Z-Freak 0-0, he hasn't been involved yet, and that's rare to see, not only from Parasite in general, but especially a player like Z-Freak. He usually gets involved right away. And we see that aggressive play coming out, but not so much this game. Instead, that was more Tralfamador than anything, being aggressive with the Forest Minion. But speaking of him right now, he's currently in the Ancients, actually. Going to look to take out the Ancients right there and get his farm back up to around 375 gold per minute. But
yeah, absolutely right. Still in pretty good shape, though, Magebane a leg up on him. And to comment on Z-Freak a little bit, going 0-0, I mean, we did see him try and get aggressive. I mean, he almost set up that Bubbles kill onto Bubbles, but unfortunately the way the lanes were set up, Bubbles is a very hard hero to gank early on. Yeah. And that's why I mentioned putting him down in the Legion jungle, just because it's hard for him to really gank where he is. And that is a big credit to Fnatic right there. They've been on the ball as far as that positioning and nullifying the effectiveness of Parasite.
Yeah, it's just Z-Freak hasn't been able to get comfortable this game yet, so we'll see. Maybe, I mean, this GPM is actually pretty solid, despite not being too involved in the current creep kills. I mean, he has Ghost Marchers, has the Ring of Sorcery. Yeah. Maybe needing it here in the middle lane because once again the push is incoming. This tower will fall. The invulnerability at the last second. We'll see if they can get the deny off. Yes, they will. Z-Freak going to be the one to get the deny. And see the Vagabond later. Looks like a nice trap on the Minotaur right there, but actually probably not going to be enough, as the Minotaur minion will get away. So a good stand right there at the tower, coming out from Trademark eSports, as Pharaoh in the meantime here at the bottom lane, but not going to be able to catch anybody. Polywog Priest are running into a precarious situation, running into Parasite. The War Chap is placed. The Electric Jolt comes out and just runs away. Will this actually kill Parasite? Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. No, he infests the creep at the last second, and he'll be fine. In the meantime, Polywog Priest, so this is why he's running, because Tremble and Pharaoh were incoming. Tremble dropping quickly, or Tremble getting the kill quickly right there. Onto Notel. Z-Freak actually getting credit for it. And the crippling volley also hitting Ophelia right here. So now Ophelia's in a lot of trouble. The face that comes out. There's the Astrolabe heal. The piercing arrow is doing minimal damage, but all the players are here for the Hellborn team. And there was nowhere to go for Ophelia. So now a mass tower push as well. Going to come out here in the bottom lane.
Exactly. In that situation, Fly barely got clipped by the edge of that crippling volley. So very well placed by Moon Meander, but there was just nowhere for him to go. As you mentioned, a 5v1 scenario. So Fly did the best he could, but I don't think there was much hope there in that situation once he got into it. So obviously this tier 1 tower in the bottom lane going to fall with 2 heroes dead. Not much Fnatic Raid Call can do to keep it alive.
Yeah, it's really would be silly to even attempt to defend it at this point. So the tower easily falls as expected. Tralfamador actually gets the tower kill, and again, he is not doing too bad of a job of sticking with Magebane. So that is a big saving grace here for Trademark eSports. The fact that that's being accomplished, and the point you stressed earlier too, I mean, they have a Forsaken Archer. Is also doing very well, 341 gold per minute. So as well as Arrow's doing on Magebane, and usually that's a sign of Fnatic being in a pretty dominant spot, a pretty comfortable position. I don't know if it is so much in this game. I think Fnatic, or TDM, excuse me, actually, you can argue has the better spot right now. We do see Boris and Tremble porting to the bottom lane, though, or the top lane, excuse me. Bubbles taking a lot of damage right there. Wow, that was a lot of burst damage coming out, but in the meantime, the turnaround now onto Tremble. However, that's going to be canceled as actually Polywog Priest trying to pour it out, but no, it's not going to happen. The stun of the last second from Luna, and Polywog Priest will fall. So a great return right there from a Hellborn side and supporting that Tremble.
Yeah, and you're just talking about how TDM is picking up some momentum, and now they're looking good. They've got a nice little lead set up for themselves, and if they can continue with this at this pace, they will be in good shape. We see Tralfamador now tied with Era, both of them sitting around 420 GPM or so. So they're both in great shape, but Tralfamador has been holding on to that great farm. Now he's picked up his Helm of the Black Legion and his Mystic Vestment, so he's got those core item pieces, and well, he's pretty damn scary sitting at level 11.
Yeah, you see this tower now at that top side, going to be dropping right here. Of course, all 5 players from Trademark eSports are here. In the meantime, Magebane doing a little bit of pushing himself in the middle lane, you see, but he may need to look to fall back because this is an early secondary tower kill. We're only 18 minutes into this game now, and there we go. B-Kid gets credit for the tower kill, and they'll gladly fall back and be happy with that. The first secondary tower taken out very early on again. Magebane did end up not porting back, but did end up falling back in the middle lane.
Yeah, definitely right. So now, I mean, TDM with about 4K gold advantage after pushing sort of 3 towers back-to-back there. That's definitely good news. And like you said, they're going to be happy just to go back to Farmville here on their own friendly turf. Era's had that rune cleaver for quite some time now, and he's got about 1,900 gold in the bank. So we'll see where he moves from here. If he goes straight into that Geometer's Bane for a little bit of that damage output, time shall tell. But you know, you talked about Hellflower on Tremble, and it looks like that's exactly what Tralfamador is going to do here, as he has 2 Arcanas.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense, especially going against this Mage Bane. I mean,
yep. Oh yeah.
It's pretty much almost a no-brainer, I guess you could even say. So
absolutely.
Yeah, very solid item choice on him. But yeah, Mage Bane, I'm trying to think too. You know, you brought that up, and I think the Geometer's Bane could be a very valid option here against this Hellborn team for several reasons. Obviously for the damage output and for the offensive purpose, but especially for splitting up as well against this Hellborn side. It could be very useful against certain abilities. So we'll see if that happens to be the case here. For Mage Bane, with that 2,300 gold saved up, you know, definitely has a choice coming in the near future. You see him taking on a mound right there. It even took Mage Bane about 5 or 6 hits to take that mound out. Those things are just so damn annoying to kill.
They certainly are.
Especially in the laning phase.
700 hit points on those mounts.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Tremble at the top lane. Ooh, you see the gank is coming somewhat. We got Ophelia down here. You do see orange player. In fact, he's going to port in. Never mind. Okay, port away. It's like, where did Bubbles go? Never mind. He went the other direction. But speaking of that, portal key on Bubbles, as we see here. So that's another good news here for Fnatic Recall, at least.
Absolutely. Now, if you want to see something interesting, Breaky, just hit 5 on your keyboard.
5. Lol.
Polywog Priest and Bubbles, really the only 2 heroes doing damage on this Legion side. Mage Bane with 1% of the hero damage.
Like, guys, a PvE mission over here.
Yeah, guys, I've got some dragons to kill.
You have your fun in your PvP. Go ahead. Come on, slay my dragons, and that's exactly what he's doing right here. So, yeah, it literally is
always interesting to see the numbers like that.
Damage.
But you know, it's working. I mean, we did mention at the beginning, you know, they built a really good 4-man team around this Mage Bane. So thinking of it that way, it almost makes more sense. Seeing Bubbles and Polywog Priest doing that much damage this early on.
Yeah, very true. So, but the GPM chart, Mage Bane will gladly be on top of that one.
Yes, he is.
As he is. Again, still very close to that Tremble. Managing to keep it very, very close as the Hellflower will be finished quickly here. Yeah. So very early Hellflower, and I think that's going to be the sweet spot for our Hellborn team. I believe I just saw Shrunken Head also finish on Forsaken Archer. So we're getting to that place of, you know what, we're feeling very comfortable here. And, you know, the last thing we want to do is buy time for Mage Bane to get more farm. So maybe we should start playing more and more aggressive with these bigger items that we're picking up here.
Yep, definitely right. You know, it looks like Mage Bane will be moving towards the Geometer's Bane eventually. Of course, did go the Firebrand first. Could possibly go for the Frostburn and then split them, as we've seen at an increasing frequency recently. And time shall tell for that as well. But a fairly classic Mage Bane build.
Yeah, it's, we'll see what he goes. You know, the 1,600 gold currently saved up. But Trademark eSports, it looks like they are grouping up here at the bottom lane. And very likely possibility coming out of in terms of just pushing as a team and making the decision very difficult for Fnatic Recall in terms of whether or not they want to initiate. Can they initiate? And will it be successful? So the secondary tower at the bottom lane going to start taking some damage right here. And Fnatic Recall is nowhere in sight. Instead, they're like, all right, you have that tower. We're going to go ahead and push your towers instead. The middle tower dropping quickly, and vulnerability is going to be used. And the Hellborn team choosing to port back for Forsaken Archer comes in. There's a blink from Mage Bane, though, coming out. So Mage Bane will be fun. And the deny on the tower from Moonmander on that Forsaken Archer. So pretty well played when it's all said and done. The top lane, though, there's some action up here. Parasite and Boris actually were looking to do some work, but the port outs happen. However, Parasite still needs to be a little bit careful with Mage Bane, Ophelia, and Polywog Priest jumping in. There goes the Hex on a Parasite. The War Trap comes out, and Parasite dead in a matter of seconds right there. Tremble also getting locked out with the Tongue Tied. In comes Mage Bane, but the Dark Swarm is actually a nice deny by Tralfamador, but is it going to matter? No, it's not. Mage Bane with the Mana Rift right there, and down goes Tremble. So a big plays coming out here from our Legion team, actually. Yeah. And that worked out very well for them in the end. It may not still be over, actually, as they're still chasing both Pharaoh and Forsaken Archer, but
Aluna might get pinched here, though. She's in a little bit of a tough position. Are they going to come down and spot her? It doesn't look like it. Aluna actually going to be able to get away. There's not much ward coverage here, so she's going to take this pass. She's actually going to walk by a ward here, but I don't think they're going to get to her in time. Interesting play from Tralfamador, though. I mean, obviously, Z-Freak was ward trapped. It would have been very hard pressed for him to survive that. And Tralfamador instantly ported top, perhaps thinking some of his other teammates would port in alongside of him. but unfortunately on a little bit of a suicide mission there.
It's kind of one of those cases of, you know, you can respect the fact that he wants to save his teammates and, you know, when everything like that, he just wants to get the teamwork going, but it was a case of Parasite was dead. I mean, you weren't going to save him. He was 100% dead, really, and porting in. And the last thing, that's very likely it could have been miscommunication, too, like you were saying, too. Why didn't anyone else port in? Obviously, they had just ported to the middle lane, though, so.
A whole bunch of things. I mean, maybe thinking Pharaoh was within range of an ultimate, a whole lot of options. Down in the bottom lane, though, poor Nova going to get taken out. Level 7 Glacius going toe-to-toe with the level 13 Tremble.
Yeah, with the Hellflower on top of that.
With a Hellflower.
Yeah, I'm sure he died in a matter of seconds right there.
Yep.
Didn't catch it, but I can't say I'm too surprised about that with him dying so quickly.
You know, again, we were talking about that statistic of Nova's really high kill assist to death ratio. That was his first death of the game. He's 0-1-0, 23 minutes in, and he's just so underleveled, sitting level 7. Pretty amazing that he's been able to avoid death that long.
Yeah, and this is a very scary team for him, mind you. I mean, you got your Parasite, your Tremble, as we saw right there, who will burst you down and catch you off guard completely. So, yeah, you're right. The fact that he does only have one death, not too shabby here for our Glacius player. But this is the power of Tremble that we have been seeing more and more. Again, just the presence that he has on the map. He can be... look at those mounds. This is also what I was talking about, how they're spread out completely. There's 4 mounds at the bottom side of the map. There's 4 mounds up here at the top side. He has one back at base, of course. He just planted another one at the bottom here. So he has them all over, being able to go from one to the other on the fly. He doesn't need those homecoming stones all the time to be able to pour from one area to the next. So very, very effective strategy there. And this defense tower at the bottom lane, it is going to drop quickly here. And there we go. So they're now down to 1 outer tower here in the middle lane before the base tower are going to start being worked on. So more positive news here for Trademark eSports.
Absolutely right. Only 2 outer towers remaining for TDM as well. And it's sort of interesting here. We see an experience advantage for our Legion side, though. TDM actually does have a slight gold advantage. So all things considered, a very even game here. We see Mage Bane has completed that Geometer's Bane with another 2K in the bank. Well, there it is. Going to get a Whispering Helm.
510 gold per minute. I mean, he has done some damage now, of course. We did see in that fight at the top lane. So,
there we go.
Obviously, being involved in 2 kills now and getting 2 of them. So,
yeah, but absolutely.
I mean, every time I look at it, it seems like it jumps up by 30 or 40 gold per minute. Oh, Tremble getting caught out right here, actually trying to do some damage himself and may be able to do so. That Glacial down where the Kelfield comes out even, but in comes Pharaoh with the Wrath of the Pharaoh. Tremble has that Dark Storm activated, so preventing a lot of damage from coming out. The Ophelia heal going to be used, but Ophelia will fall when it's all said and done. Polywalk Priest wards are down. The Tongue Tie not going to be nearly enough, though. Polywalk Priest will fall as well. So Fnatic, Raid Call kind of trying to help, but not necessarily the greatest decision right there. And Bubbles porting back. Now, while this is going on, look at Era pushing this top lane. He's going to apply pressure up here, so the Hellborn team will be forced to port back when it's all said and done. In fact, Tremble, I think he is porting through the mound, as we do see the ports also incoming, so there's going to be the Mage Bane port coming out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, right there, Fnatic probably should have backed up a bit, knowing that Era was going to stay top. He did manage to get a tower kill of his own, so you're talking about that GPM ever increasing, picking up that tower kill. Certainly going to help, but also doing half damage to this base tower is a pretty good chunk of damage as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he did quite a bit for his team right there. I mean, but you could also argue maybe him being here in this fight when it was happening would have been more efficient. But at the same time, you know, they don't have that initial tower. They have the secondary tower that he could have ported to. But, you know, he made the decision, and, you know, I can't blame that. I mean, I think that actually makes sense. What he did was probably the better decision.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, to pressure the base instead of get that tower kill even, rather than kind of maybe get involved in a team fight that could result in a bad thing. So, Conqueror kill happening, though, from Trademark eSports currently, as there is no vision from our Legion side, and I don't think they're aware whatsoever. So this could be a free Conqueror kill coming out from Trademark eSports right now. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, Fnatic not reacting to it whatsoever.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. There's just that lack of vision, and I don't even see any counter wards going down here for TDM. There just simply aren't any wards down for Fnatic Raid Call, and alas, Conqueror will fall. The token going to fall into the hands of Troutmador on that Tremble, who does have a mighty play as well. LeBron James in the house, ladies and gentlemen, as he connects with Ophelia. Fly certainly going to go down here, and Z-Freak actually going to pick up that kill with the Codex.
Great Wrath of the Pharaoh coming out, of course, nailing Ophelia, making an easy kill happen. Obviously, the Sword decides to speak to those, one right here, and that was the reason why he was able to land it. Now the pressure at the top lane, again, the creep wave is here. I'm getting a little bit more damage on the tower, but quickly Troutmador ports in, and nothing more happening. So a lot of distracting going on here from Fnatic, it seems like, that it still remains to be a 4-man team with Mage Bane just pushing other lanes and doing his own thing while they're getting involved and dying, but Mage Bane farm is freaking ridiculous. 562 gold per minute and counting. And this will be the true definition of a carry if we see Fnatic be victorious here, simply because he's just so far ahead of everyone else on his team, especially.
That GPM chart, man.
He is literally carrying his team here. I mean,
yeah, you know, you're exactly right. This is the definition of a carry. That's where that term comes from. I think he would be wise to invest in a shrunken head. He does have about 3.3k gold saved up, so he is getting close to that point. But, you know, given that silence, the magic damage on the Hellborn side, I think that is going to be a key pickup, though. You know, a Nullstone actually might not be a bad way to go also.
Yeah, I was thinking that, too. Obviously, you got your Hellflowers, you got your Parasite, so it seems like Nullstone could be a pretty solid pickup choice here, but I don't know. We'll see. Mage Bane eventually goes
he may opt just straight into a Frostwolf Skull. Oh, no. Oh, gosh, he's got that Whispering Helm breaky. Yeah. Oh. So no Frostwolf Skull, at least not anytime soon.
Knowing Era, though, you know, he'll just save out 6,000 gold and right-click something, so we still got a ways before we're going to know, despite him having 3,800 gold here, so.
Yep.
Not just yet. As you see, Porus kind of roaming around, scutting things out. That's where the lapping's going on. Fighting with, look at this. He's using the healer to keep the Minotaur alive while he's killing the Mount. That is epic strategies coming out right now. Will the Minotaur actually kill the Mount? It doesn't look like. Oh, he stuns Trembling. Why am I watching this? Oh, that's pretty funny. At least he tried. At least Fly tried.
Noble effort. Very noble effort.
I don't think I've ever taken over a healer before.
I don't really play Ophelia so often, so I can wholeheartedly say I don't think I've ever taken over one either.
Yeah, well, the heal seems pretty damn weak from what I saw right there, so it's for good reason.
Certainly right. So TDM now grouping up here in the mid lane. Looks like they do want to take out this last outer tower, as it doesn't look like Fnatic is going to check it here. They are turtled around the base. They are going to use the glyph, so perhaps going to pose a defense of sorts just to buy time. I'd be surprised if they just use the glyph and don't follow up with it. But apparently that is the case.
Yeah, they're just buying time.
Buying time for Era here. He is in the bottom lane pushing that tier 2 tower, so I guess that's the strategy they're going for. Hopefully the 4 of them can fend this off. We could see kind of a base race mentality here. Moonmeander going to pick up that kill on Denova. Unfortunately, Glacius going to overcommit just a little bit trying to defend this mid lane.
There you go, though. Era gets the tower kill. We do see, is he going to port back? And no, he's still going. So there's the base tower kill. Era does eventually port back, though. So the melee racks is exposed. Here we go. Glacius is dead, so it is a 4 versus 5. The Hellflower initiation on a Polywog Priest. Mage Bane in the background. Look at Polywog Priest just exploding in thin air with that Codex. Parasite in the meantime jumps in the fight, but Mage Bane just very, very passive right now. Not sure what to do. Port coming in. I believe that is Polywog Priest who actually bought back. So here we go. The Tremble, or the wards go down. Tremble's going to end up dying. Now he will resurrect because of that token of life, but Mage Bane trying to do all that he can. Tremble puts another man down. We see Mage Bane going in. The Mana Rift, of course, already used. Parasite dropping now quickly, but Tremble locks on to Mage Bane, slowing him down. There's a split up with the Diamond Bane, but the piercing arrows from Forsaken Archer. Perfect placement right there, and Mage Bane will fall to the ground. He does, by all means, have enough money for buyback, though, so we'll see if he actually does. But Bubbles is still now trying to survive. Mage Bane has not bought back. 60 seconds remaining, so finding it not necessary. And, you know, probably the better decision. The Hellborn team will ultimately fall back too. So, yeah, I mean, they did save the racks. They only used the one buyback from Polywog, so it wasn't that bad for Fnatic. But
certainly, I definitely went well. You know, Mage Bane's at that point now where he's strong now, but with this next item pickup and the one after, he's going to get out of control. So. This game, you know, even though Fnatic is behind, the numbers may be a little bit deceiving. 6K gold, 4K experience. But that Mage Bane, man, he's just got the power. He's got the skills to pay the bills, Breaky.
Yeah, I think a Wingbow here would actually be very effective. Same thing with Darkly the last game. Sure enough, it was. I think this game as well. You know, you're trembling Forsaken Archer.
Agreed.
Having that evasion against him, and then of course the offensive stats that it provides, very, very useful for a hero like Mage Bane. So. I'd be surprised to see that at this point instead of maybe that Shrunken Head or something.
And it's one of those things, the timing on that Wingbow is very important because it's so easily countered by that Savage Mace. If you can catch Forsaken Archer or Tremble for that matter, after they've committed to another item, that can certainly be a good pickup though. Tremble with, oh there it is.
I was going to say.
The Shrunken Head.
He does have a Warhammer, so, but yeah, and a Soul's Borg as well, wow.
But right now, you know, from the Tremble perspective, this will be the perfect time for Era to pick up a Wingbow because there's no way Trouthnor will be farming a Savage Mace anytime soon.
Yeah. Well,
although
we'll see.
Forsaken Archer does have 2K in the bank, so we'll see what Moonmeander opts for as well.
Mage Bane has 5,000, 5,200 and counting. It just keeps going up. Void Talisman just purchased right there from Polywog Priest, and that, you know, it makes sense. It definitely does. You got your Tremble, you got Forsaken Archer. You can use that against them, but you know, you'd have to be careful not to use it too quickly and open yourself for Parasite to be like, I'm going to do more damage now because of that. So,
yep, that's certainly
but
true.
it is a very effective pickup. I like the pickup choice, and it will be useful against that Tremble, and really, especially Tremble, I think is the main reason.
And Archer, though. I mean, Forsaken Archer is starting to get a little bit beefy. Moon has now picked up a Warhammer, so talking about that Savage Mace, looks like he's well on his way. And, you know, I'm sure Era is privy or will be soon to that item pickup, so it makes me wonder what he's going to do. I mean, getting close to that 6,000 gold mark, kind of at that point where he can pretty much right-click any item in the game, coming up here pretty quickly.
I mean, it is a game that where clearly buyback's going to be very important, so you do want to be a little bit careful with that. And so despite him having 6,200 gold now, I'm not surprised that he hasn't bought something just yet. I have a feeling around 7,000 gold is where we'll see him feel comfortable enough to actually right-click an item and buy it out straight up. So, but with the push coming here from Tremble, at least at this bottom lane, you do want to be very, very careful not to have that buyback. But at the same time, you know, you can argue if you have that next item going into a big team fight, that's what should help you win the fight. So there's always that give and take situation, and he may be forced to buy an item here if this fight actually takes place, but it doesn't look like it is. The fallback is going to happen from Trademark eSports, so we'll give MageBane a little bit more time now to feel comfortable with getting his next item as well as having that buyback money. So that's the good situation here. Kongor, I don't think it's going to be out too soon. Remember it happening fairly recently, so maybe a couple of minutes. We'll see though.
Absolutely. You know, looking at this game, MageBane going to right-click a Behemoth Heart. I was actually just going to bring up the suggestion of, you know, this could be a game where possibly Doombringer could be that final saving grace. I mean, they're getting to that point where, yes, MageBane's good, but, you know, Troubledore is getting close to 500 GPM as well as Moon Meander. He's close to that 450 GPM mark. So, you know, a surprise Doombringer could have been one thing, but opting for that tanky route with the Behemoth Heart.
Yeah, very interesting, actually. I don't know.
A little surprised. I would have thought a Frostwolf Skull over a Behemoth Heart.
Well, again, he does have the Whispering Helm, but
yeah.
But Wingbow, I still think, again, would be a very powerful choice, too. But maybe it's just the fear of the Savage Mace possibly coming. Or
Symbol of Rage, as well as Symbol of Rage and a Frostwolf Skull as well could have been viable.
I think he needs a little bit more damage output before he gets a Symbol of Rage, to be honest. So,
well,
I mean, it still could be very powerful, but
Behemoth Heart not doing so much in the damage output area.
I don't know. He does have 2,600 life now. That is the most in the game by quite a bit. So
that's true.
That is very helpful. And, you know, in that sense, of course, he may be worried about getting hit by the Hellflower initiated and wants to be able to tank through that damage if possible with him not being able to blink or use his Geometer's Bane. So, and if anything, you know, he's going to be the guy in the front line. So buy time for his bubbles, his Polywog Priest, to kind of put some damage in there. But yeah, he's really the only big damage dealer for his team in these team fights. I mean, I know the charts say a little bit different with Polywog Priest and Bubbles, but a lot of that was from earlier on. And
well, you know, also with that Whispering Helm, it's all about staying in and being able to get those auto attacks off. So he needs that buffer of health to be able to stay in there to actually do that. So perhaps going Whispering Helm first, sort of encouraging that a little bit. But yeah, interesting item pickups regardless here. So MageBane already back up to about 3,000 gold. So he's going to have that opportunity to move into another item pickup, and sky's the limit.
By the way, for a second after, did end up going to Shieldbreaker with their Warhammer. So it's level 1 currently, level 2 in the works.
Very good.
Yeah. So going just more raw damage as well in that sense with the attack modifier, of course. So
makes sense with that Tremble on the team as well.
Yeah, that'll be very beneficial for your Tremble player too. That's a very good point. Wild Hunter just taken over by Parasite, so he's going to scout some things out perhaps and see if he can maybe catch anybody. Of course,
on the hunt.
Yeah, he literally is on the hunt right now, as maybe trying to find somebody. You see the Ophelia minions once again doing work on the mounds. That is the benefit of having Ophelia against a hero like Tremble, where you don't need to worry about sitting there trying to kill a freaking mound, taking 5 minutes to do so, and have him jump you in the process. You just send the minions in, and they'll take care of the job, the dirty work for you. And if they do get jumped, you know, it sucks, but it's not a freaking hero death. So.
Not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Another interesting facet of this game is Fnatic Raid Call with 2 Storm Spirits, one on Bubbles and one on Ophelia as well. You know, an item we used to see very, very frequently, and since
it's about saving MageBane. I mean, it's so obvious here that
exactly that's really what it is. It's so situational now, but certainly does fill that role very appropriately. Of course, Kongor is now respawned. TDM going to take him out. It looks like completely unchecked by Fnatic Raid Call. Again, still no wards for our Legion side around this Kongor pit, and that does make me scratch my head a little bit.
Yeah, this is the second kill in a row now for Kongor. That's going to be a free kill for them. And, you know, I understand what our Legion team is doing with Fnatic Recall with, again, the double Storm Spirit, the Behemoth's Heart. I mean, it's just really about keeping MageBean alive, but where's your damage output? I mean, do you have enough damage output to win these team fights? I mean, Polywog, Priest, and Bubbles, sure, they're doing a fair amount, I guess, but I don't know. It just seems like that when it comes to right-clicking, I mean, maybe they feel like they just can't compete against the Tremble Forsaken Archer, so they are trying to play more of the Outlast, which I guess I can get that. You know, you got your Ophelia as well with the heal, so I guess that's a very good possibility of what is going on here. But, ooh, another blue screen happening, so.
Looks like we'll be here for a moment or two while we see that PC reset. But surprisingly low-scoring game. 21 kills now as we're 38 minutes into match one. Of course, just to reiterate, Fnatic Raid Call is up 1 game over TDM right now in a best-of-3 series. So, again, just to emphasize how important this game is. Fnatic Raid Call still 1 win away from making it to the finals of the Dream Arena.
You know, if they come back or win this game, you know, there you go. Arrow did it for his team, and they're going to the DreamHack Arena, or Dream Arena, excuse me. The DreamHack Arena.
We have our own arena.
Not there yet. But if TDM wins this, then we are going to that third and final game, and it'll be between North America and Europe to see who will make it onto the finals there when it comes down to it. So that's it's a lot on the line. Again, $60,000 prize pool total, $35,000 for first place. Just so much money right there for all the individuals of the team. So much money on the line, but again, it's also about the region factor, about the pride factor, that you're representing a region. In this case, of course, Fnatic from Europe. You got TDM from North America. You got TT Esports from Australia. And then, once again, Black Fade from Europe as well. So it's kind of the breakdown there, the 4 teams that exist in this stage, or in this DreamHack event now. Of course, Black Fade versus TT Esports are in the other semifinals, and they will be playing after this best-of-3 finishes. So
yes.
Exactly
right.
That.
Exactly right.
There is a third place match too. Again, to clarify that. We're not covering it actually, because I believe it's happening near the same time of the actual grand finals. So, but there will be a third place match.
All right.
Again, so still a good chunk of money on the line there.
Absolutely. So, this really turning into an interesting game. You know, Fnatic has been sort of playing from behind almost. I mean, 7-14 behind by a fair deficit. Really not so much now that we're almost 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
But it's just turned into an interesting game. You know, we've been talking about these item pickups and sort of how defensive Fnatic is being. And, you know, I sort of feel like with these item pickups, just eventually, if this game goes on for another 20 minutes, our Legion team is going to get out carried, odd as that sounds.
Yeah.
As you said, that right-click auto-attack DPS is just going to be too much.
Yeah, it's just not there for our Legion team, and it's definitely there for the Hellborn team. But, you know, maybe I'll eat my words. I mean, because when I think about it, it's pretty obvious that's what Fnatic's doing here. They're going for, we're going to outlast you in these fights. I mean, sure, MageBean isn't dishing out crazy damage like he could be if he went a different build, but he's surviving. We're keeping him alive long enough to do enough damage over time with the assistance of Polywog, Priest, and Bubbles to eventually take you guys out. And, you know, with your team not really having much heal support and you guys being a pretty offensive, aggressive team, that's what they're going for. So, will it work? I mean, that's another question here. So,
indeed it is. Let's see. Codex here, still sitting level 1 for Z-Freak, and he's also picked up a portal key. So, you know, looking for initiation power instead of that just raw burst potential. Makes sense as well. Seeing Glacius at only 600 HP, I think level 5 Codex may be overkill.
Yeah, just a little. But yeah, that portal key gives him the chance to pretty much kill. I mean, look at that. I mean, he can kill anyone on this Legion team, or has a good potential to kill anyone on this Legion team with just that portal key now, because of his abilities. So other than MageBean, obviously. So yeah, that's a very smart pickup, of course, coming out from Z-Freak here, and not surprised to see it with that said.
Absolutely. So we're still waiting for No-Tail to reconnect here. Of course, as we saw in chat, he did blue screen. Unfortunate, but actually haven't had too many pauses this game, so it could be worse. Could be worse.
True.
True.
Very true.
Sayori would never lie.
7 kills only for Fnatic so far. You know,
it feels like there's been more action this game. It doesn't feel like a game that's only had 21 kills. At least to me, it seems, I don't know. And Frankie's like, no, it feels like a pretty boring game.
No, it feels pretty. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. So, Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely been a lot more passive. I was excited early on because it seemed like Traumador was going to play that really aggressive and really moving style Tremble, but he didn't continue it. He was more of a one-time thing, or maybe a couple times things, but it is we just haven't seen it in a while. So, but we are 38 minutes into this game. Apparently, yes. Notel is having those computer issues. So,
yeah, there's something funky. It sounds like a driver issue of sorts, but who knows? It's been a common occurrence on a couple of choice PCs, so rather unfortunate. Well, again, guys, you are enjoying DreamHack Summer 2012. You can go over to DreamHon.com to check out all the statistics from the event. You can see all the teams, how they fared in the group stages. I believe there are some VODs catalog there, and they'll be slowly popping up as they continue to be encoded and uploaded.
Yeah.
So if you missed some of the action yesterday, if there's a team that you wanted to see that we didn't cover or a specific matchup, you can check out the website and check out some of the VODs. I can't guarantee that your specific game will be uploaded, but they should be in the near future if it's not already.
Yeah, and on that note too, more for the people at home, but even people that are here, we took a lot of pictures, getting a lot of footage, and expect more and more interviews to be popping up, kind of behind the scenes things, and just a lot of pictures too. That's always fun to look at. So from this event, it's definitely a great event, and we do our best to get you guys at home experiencing it too, to the best of our powers. So.
Yes, exactly right.
Man, you got our other teams. You got Orange Esports, MUFC, Team GA, and of course Team It's Ghost, coming out of the BYOC.
Yeah.
Who are obviously done at this point, but it would be nice to kind of talk with them and see. And I'm sure they are. It's obviously they especially in South Africa with the Russians. They flew all the way out here to compete in this event, and. I'll say this: they were very excited to be here. You could definitely tell that when you initially talked to them, and although they aren't, they didn't qualify to move on to the next round. I mean, it's a case of enjoying the experience, really. I mean,
right.
Enjoy that you're here.
Now you can say you have that LAN experience under your belt. We didn't win our first LAN experience, but we came and gave it our best, and those nerves are out. If that happens again, we've done this, we've got this, and that's a really powerful thing.
Yeah.
And just to mention, you mentioned Team It's Gosu. I know there were some threads on the forums. They did end up forfeiting. It got to the point, the BYOC, they're one of the last teams to play their matches, and it got to the point where it was clear they weren't going to be able to win. They started 1-3, and I think mathematically impossible for them to bring it up, make it to the top 4. So they did opt to forfeit the remaining matches. I think they slept for half an hour last night or something like that.
It was a mix of lack of sleep, but they were also in the Swedish Championships.
Exactly,
here,
that's the other thing.
There's actually a fair amount of money in that.
I believe it's a $6,000 first prize, something close to that, give or take.
Yeah. The DreamHack event, I don't know if it's a DreamHack event. I think it's
Swedish. All the rules are in Swedish.
Anyways, Team It's Ghost was a part of that, and they were in the finals for that, so it's a case of, they might as well just focus on that instead. And they got second? Really? Who won?
Mono.
The Swedish tournament. Oh, Mono was in this? Okay.
Yeah, because Mono is one of those teams that's mostly European, and then Swindlemelons is the lone American.
Mono beat Team It's Ghost in the Swedish finals, yet they lost them in the BYOC finals.
Interesting. Interesting.
Oh. Maybe we need one more best of 3 to truly determine who the better team is. That's interesting, though. I wasn't aware that Mono was actually a part of that as well. So, just got word from Xander K that Mono apparently defeated Team It's Gosu in the Swedish Championship match. But still, I believe it was a prize for both first and second. So, still, Team It's Gosu went away with something at the very least.
Yeah.
Congrats to Mono.
Right, that is interesting, though, how both teams in the finals and alternate results.
That is pretty funny. I see some people saying remake, please. That's pretty hilarious. Yeah, just remake this, guys.
Yeah, we're only 40 minutes in.
40 minutes in. Pretty big deal. Just remake.
Yeah.
I'm sure Fnatic would be down for that. I don't know, but both teams, both teams are actually in a pretty good spot right here, I'm not going to lie. I think it's safe to say TDM definitely in the better spot, but right now, Fnatic Raid Call is, there we go. Beautiful crowd there. Being hyped up. Excited. Sticking through all these pauses and whatnot that are coming out.
Yeah, there we go. They got their signs on the beautiful DreamHack. Oh, there we are. There we are.
Should always expect that. Goes from the crowd to us.
pink and no, purple. This is purple.
That's purple. I don't know why you keep saying it's pink.
It looks pink to me. I'm colorblind,
Colorblind person, you.
I'm disabled.
It's a purple tie.
Purple and orange. Purple and orange. The official colors of DreamHawn.
That's what we're going for, in case you didn't tell.
Yeah.
This is not my personal tie that I have at home. Should be, though. Probably will be now. Pretty flashy in it.
Pretty flashy indeed. So yeah, No Tail's still stuck at 34% here. So again,
I think that's from the original.
Yeah. So still resetting. Oh, server is on pause. Looks like we're gonna have to redo the pause here. But you know, like I said, guys, we will resume ASAP.
Caught you off guard. You thought we were gonna start that.
Yeah, for a second, I was just like, whoa. Okay.
Here we go. Nope, never mind.
So I was like, who's server? Oh.
Yeah, it's after 10 minutes, I believe. The server will actually unpause the game.
Have we really been paused for 10 minutes?
Yeah, well, that's what it is. It's a 10-minute pause. So. Whoa. I know, right? What time is it, by the way? It is 6:40.
Getting close to 7.
Remember how the other best of 3 was supposed to start at 7?
Yeah, that's so. Worst case scenario, again, just to reiterate, the finals have to start at midnight tonight, guys. That is absolute. That is our scheduled slot. You know, the finals are staggered in the Dream Arena for the other events.
As long as we get it finished before that, that's what ultimately matters.
We will be starting.
We still have over 5 hours till then. So to get this series finished and the next best of 3, that should be enough time.
Right, but worst case scenario, there could be some overlap, and you know, we hop into some later games. There are all sorts of things we can do. So we do have some breathing room. Not to worry. The finals will go on. The show will go on.
It must.
The show must go on.
Yeah, I'm expecting a good crowd tonight. I'm expecting to fill up just like always in the Dream Arena. I mean, I have actually had several people come up to me and ask me, you know, it's a finals tonight, you know, wondering what the time it's going to be and whatnot. So clearly the interest is there. Apparently, so they switched out his PC.
Okay, so that's what's taking so long. They're gonna.
So unfortunately, that might take a little bit longer now too, because we might have to.
Yeah, but if that fixes future problems, so we don't have to do this again, then probably a worthy investment of our time.
Very, very true.
What you gonna do?
Do we want to do a dream come true question? I don't know if we're ready for that just yet.
Well, it wouldn't bother me.
Kind of asking the producers, see if they throw something up. If not, we'll just have something else that we can also reiterate. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. So tomorrow again, guys, to remake the point that the DreamHawn Mid-Wars Challenge is tomorrow for day number 3. So although the main event ends tonight with that $60,000 prize player at DreamHawn, the Mid-Wars Challenge will be tomorrow, where a pro player or captain from each of the pro teams will draft a team at random, literally random, where they pick names out of a hat, basically, and they get their teams formed, and they'll play against the other teams in a tournament stage format, and then the winner of that will play the community winning team, who then the winner of that will win $1,000. So.
Yes. Yeah. Great. It's a great idea. The event overall, like we've talked about a few times already, it's going to be really fun. It's going to be really interesting seeing the teams all mismatched, and you know, seeing members from TDM and Trademark and Orange eSports all playing together. And then also there is a little bit of cash on the line, so there's some motivation not to you know, totally blow it off and actually take it a little bit seriously. At least try to win.
It is set for noon tomorrow, noon Central European time, so noon local time here.
There you go.
For the Mid-Wars Challenge, for those that are wondering when it actually is.
Yep, there we go. So that those are our plans for Sunday.
Okay.
And, let's see here.
Yeah, apparently they didn't think about the whole.
Oh, that whole IP thing.
Yeah.
Oh my, I totally forgot about that as well. So, yeah, if you log out, then switch to another computer. You can't reconnect to that game because that's it's IP based, so that sort of prevents you know, having a pro play on a Smurf account or something like that from a distance. So that's why that exists, but that's definitely an issue.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously that's maybe a ruling that
making that face. We need Phil the Thrill in here.
Admin.
Actually, I'm sure Phil the Thrill's over there dealing with it right now.
Yeah, he's been over there.
Yeah,
pretty much all the matches.
That's been his post. So
yeah.
Regardless, guys, you know, like we said, right now the casting booth where we're at is very far away from the players. We have a whole casting station set up. The players are in a player pit way far away. They can't hear the stream or anything, so we don't have a constant feed of what they're doing, what's going on. We can only get updates via the intranet. So as we have information, it will be relayed to you, rest assured.
To the best of our knowledge. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't have too many up-to-date information on the situation just yet, so we're going to have to wait here.
Right now, we're down to the end. There aren't other matches going on. We can report other results. This is it. We're there, man.
Not too much else to talk about when it comes to this event. We are coming down to the nitty-gritty here at the very end. So
it's been a hell of an event, though. We've seen some pretty cool hero picks, some pretty cool team comps.
Yeah.
Some pretty big plays.
Yeah, it's definitely been, as expected, a really exciting event. A lot of fun, and really, it's one of those cases, you still can't believe that you're actually here, catching the event, and the fact it took so long to get here, and it seems like it's just going so quickly.
The fact that it's almost over now.
Yeah, here we are, and the finals are tonight. Like again, I keep saying that we're gonna know who the DreamHoN Champion is tonight, so it's pretty awesome when it comes down to it.
Certainly.
DreamHack.
Certainly right.
And there are a lot of other events here. With that said, again, for many other games.
I mean, every game you can imagine that has a competitive scene, first-person shooters.
We got a little StarCraft booth actually just to our left. They've been having StarCraft matches over there. I've seen Counter-Strike. I've seen Quake. I mean, you have all the other tournament games.
Just looking around from our high-rise, you can see a plethora of different titles.
Our booth is actually pretty interesting design too. We were talking about that, how we're up here.
We're looking down on the audience.
All the audience members.
We're way up here.
We're the guys.
You can't see me now, but those are my arms in the back.
Hands. As all the hands go up. So.
See those hands? I'd recognize those hands anywhere.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so here we are. This is our setup up here. But yeah, no, it's definitely a pretty cool booth at the same time. It's
I really like this table too. These kind of versatile style where the monitor it's like built for putting a monitor down. It's makes me feel official. It's cool.
Pretty professional.
I need one of these at home so I can watch TV while I play.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Looking investing into that.
Kind of like we're doing right now, but breaky.
Hey.
There we go.
You shall receive.
Question number 7 coming up.
Figured it was time.
There you go. It's about time.
All right. So there you go, guys. This is for the Dream Come True event. Again, for you and a friend have a chance to win a trip to DreamHack Winter 2012, all expense paid trip, and to experience the event that is DreamHack. It's more than just here's a newer tournament. It really is just a whole event, and it's freaking amazing, as we're just talking about. So this is question number 7 now. Again, you have to answer 7 of the 10 questions correctly to even qualify for it. So according to Savage lore, that's Savage, of course, the game that S2 originally created, what hero is the leader of the Beast Horde? Is it Ophelia, Devour, Jeriziah, or Predator? So our Savage players out there.
Do you know the answer to this one, Breaky? Were you a Savage player?
I was not.
I'm sad to admit that I never played Savage, but I did have a few friends that did, and they said it was a pretty cool concept.
See, that's the thing. I keep hearing it was actually a really cool game. It was a fun multiplayer style game that it's a lot of action, really like fast-paced and kind of a first-person style almost. But it's he's switching back to the old PC apparently.
Okay. So yeah, again, guys, we're still just waiting to get No Tail back in this game. Apologies for tech issues, but again, the nature of the beast when dealing with live events.
Yeah.
So
that
what are you gonna do?
Will happen.
No clue on ETA. The wise words of Fnatic Fly.
I don't know if they should be able to pause again. I think that was last game where we had a lot of pauses.
Yeah, this was a game where I think I said when we were sitting the long pause, we haven't seen many of this game, so there should be at least two or three left, maybe. We didn't have too many of those little micro pauses.
Yeah, so should have some pauses left. So worst comes to worst, at least buying us a little bit more time, but. Yeah.
Well, at least we're not paused at one of those places where there's a fight about to commence.
Yeah.
That's
we're not like anticipating.
Yeah,
or like the screen shaking.
Yeah. Oh.
Teleport or something. That always hurts.
Always a little bit painful as well. So I guess it could be worse. Trying to find the bright side of things. With this bit of downtime, we can reiterate the group play results. Of course, TT eSports X Fray going 6-1 to be the top team. And then we have a 3-way tie for 3rd and 4th place. Fnatic, Black Fade, and Trademark all ending 5-2. And, of course, those are the 4 teams that qualified to move on to where we're at right now, the best-of-3 semifinals. The bottom 4 teams, Orange Esports going 3-3. Team GA 1-5 here. MUFC and TIG both 1-6. So that's how the group play ended up. And, of course, you can go to DreamHack.com and check out those statistics and, well, look at the numbers yourself.
Yeah, and again, for those that are wondering, how this 3-way tie was figured out, again, if you are tuning in later on, TT Esports, because they got first place, as they actually faced off against TDM to see who would be first place in the very end. This is how the schedule worked out. They got to choose who they would play in the first round. So that's how the tiebreaker was basically figured out. Okay, there's the server on pause. Okay, we do have another pause, thankfully. I was going to say, this would kind of suck, but there we go. So back to the pause we go. So more of a frozen screen. Yeah, slowly but surely. But yeah, so that's how it happened. So TT Esports selected to play Black Fate, of course, in their matchup, and that's why we have TDM versus Fnatic Recall here.
That was a cool way to handle that.
Yeah,
that was a really, with a group play like that, a lot of potential for a tie, and that's really the death of group play. If you have like a 3-way tiebreaker for that last spot, that's when things can really get gummed up because then you have to do a mini round robin with those 3 teams.
And then it could still be a tie after that.
Yeah, it gets messy.
It's just like,
because generally when that's the case, those teams are pretty evenly matched, hence why they tied in the first place. So the chances of another tie after that is fairly high. So it was a really cool call. A big shout out to Phil the Thrill. I believe he was the one that, kind of the guy in charge of, the head tournament admin, director of esports, the man in charge. But a pretty cool way to handle it. I like that. A little extra reward for being number 1.
Yeah, when he told that to us, I paused for a second. I'm like,
what? Oh, actually,
that's actually a cool idea.
I like it. It was.
I don't know if I've ever really heard that.
Pretty creative. Definitely pretty creative.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have thought of that. And that's why Phil the Thrill is the director of esports, and I'm just a humble caster.
The director of esports.
The director of esports, the one and only of all esports.
He wishes. He only wishes. But I'm definitely excited for other tournaments here too. Obviously, I consider I'm an esports fan in general. Obviously, big cast for Heroes of New Earth, and I love Heroes of New Earth, of course. But I just love esports in general. So I'm a big StarCraft 2 fan, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out as much as possible.
Absolutely.
When
StarCraft 2 is how I got into esports.
Yeah.
That was my my opening. I visited Team Liquid and was like, wow, esports is a thing.
Yeah.
This exists, and then. Wow, all these other games have esports as well.
I want to try to get into the arena for the finals, but last year I wasn't able to. Even last year, it's so crowded. I mean, you have to be lining up hours ahead of time.
Aren't you a VIP? Can't you just go backstage?
I tried, man. I tried. I'm just a lonely HoN caster.
They didn't recognize the breaky CPK.
I know VIP StarCraft 2
I don't get no respect.
So. I wasn't able to get in. So
wow, that's rough.
But no, it's like a huge arena. It's different from the one that we're going to be at. We're playing in the Dream Arena, which is great. I mean, it fits a little over 1,000 people, I believe, and it always fills up, and it's an awesome experience. But
my gosh,
you find
breaky!
that
I just hit the mother load.
Yeah, I told you somebody was doing that still.
Somebody was. So I don't know if you guys recall. Maybe some of you were watching last time. We were talking about an individual who. Goes through in these big events and tracks the stats for all the heroes, their pick usage, their win usage, all that sort of stuff. And somebody actually just linked me this spreadsheet, so I'm just going to play around here, do some sorting, and
he's reconnecting.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh, it's happening. Okay, thank God.
Okay, well, we don't have to look at these stats now, but we'll save these for a rainy day break.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Well, I'm just saying, it would have sucked to have to make an admin decision on this.
Yes,
I mean,
it really would have. This is a big game.
Really
Again, this could be the last game of this series, so it's a
sure, TDM has an advantage right now, but this game is not over. I mean,
yeah, and this is one of these games where it's hard to say which team's ahead. It's
you can't just say like, oh, they're ahead by this much. They would have won it anyway.
Numbers are deceiving, but Mage Bane's really farmed.
All right. I'm kind of. How has this game been playing out again? I totally forget. Okay.
1,000 chronos.
Whew. Okay, it looks like TDM is ready. There go Fnatic ready. Here we go. Unpause coming. Finally, going to be resuming now game 2. So, technical difficulties aside, this has continued to be an exciting series. So here we are. Again, a quick kind of recap now. It's been about 20-plus minutes or so since we actually have been playing this game. So, of course, Mage Bane Now, the strategy for the Legion team, it's all about keeping Mage Bane alive with the support, those Storm Spirits, the Ophelia heal, the Behemoth's Heart lifesteal pickup on Mage Bane, and then just outlasting this Hellborn team, really. So a lot of also split pushing been going on in favor of Fnatic. We do see once again, though, TDM, they're going to head towards the middle lane, grouping up, so another decision time coming up.
Yeah, it really is. You know, and for these players as well, it's got to be disorienting to come out of a long pause like that, trying to remember where they were in this game. But Tralfendor on that Tremble does have a double damage rune activated. They're just going to go straight in. He's going to get sheeped. Mage Bane is going to get Storm Spirited there, but oh no, Tralfendor in big trouble. The ward's going to come down, not going to be able to secure the kill. Parasite going to hop into a creep. Still no kills coming out in this chaotic team fight. Tremble just going to man up here. Of course, he does have the token in the inventory. And
how is no one dead?
I'm in the same boat, Breaky. Looks like Pharaoh could be the first one to fall. Is he going to go down? B-Kid, you may be able to survive this. There's the portal key from Hani. Going to stutter step a little bit, and there it is. The one kill in that fight. Going to go to the hands of Nova.
And look at the top lane. The tower's actually dropping right here. It may, nope, the next creeper spawned, so it should be fine for now. But the tower is being pushed up by the creeper as well as Ophelia's minions. So what a stand right there for the Legion team. The biggest thing about that fight, it started off with a Hellfire onto Mage Bane by Tremble. They were opening on him, but the Storm Spirit was used. And that's, again, exactly why they picked up that item, and for two of them for that matter, to make sure to keep Mage Bane alive. So the Storm Spirit is used. That kind of disoriented them. Now, he did go back in, and he got caught by a Crippling Volley, and he was dropping quickly. I think he dropped about 600 life or so, but he was able to blink away and survive. So, again, that's the case of the Behemoth Star coming into play, being useful. But now look what he has picked up.
Is that a snake bracelet?
Is that a snake bracelet? Is that going to make a Wingbow? Yeah, I think it is. So,
all right.
Wingbow, very likely going to be that next item first. And I like it. Like I said earlier, I was kind of hoping, maybe expecting it earlier, but it's going to be here. So, and there you go. Finishes the Wingbow.
Absolutely.
He doesn't have buyback money right now, but he will have that now for the next fight. So Mage Bane is starting to get a little more deadly here.
Yeah, and this is the perfect timing. We talked right before that pause about the timing for Wingbow is so crucial. It's easily counterable by Savage Mace, but Savage Mace is a very expensive item. Seeing that both Forsaken Archer and Tremble have committed to other items, the Demonic Breastplate as well as the Shield Breaker, they're not going to be able to pick up a Savage Mace anytime soon. So Mage Bane's going to be very powerful, but he may get caught here. He's going to be forced to use that Geometer's Bane to break the volley, and he's going to get out of there. So Hera going to be able to survive, but a little bit of a close call.
Yeah, that was. I was actually expecting Wrath of the Pharaoh to come out after the blink to try to maybe catch him. That would have been huge. But no, Mage Bane. That's the power of the Geometer's Bane. That's what I was stressing earlier. You know, they definitely have several abilities that the Geometer's Bane can be very useful against. One being that crippling volley right there. So he is going to be fine. But another push coming in from TDM. So they really want to keep the aggression up. They're very aware that Mage Bane is very powerful now. Although I guess if you look at the slide, I guess really similar rage is kind of that left. Last item twist left for him, but initiation starting to happen. Look at the melee racks disintegrating. 2 seconds on there on the Mage Bane, but Mage Bane standing his ground. Shrunken Head already activated by Forsaken Archer, but it's still not dropping. There we go with the drop on Forsaken Archer from Mage Bane. Able to get away though, but we do see the quick kill happening right there onto Aluna. In the meantime, piercing arrows coming out from the back row, but Mage Bane is still well alive, and the chase is on. Tremble taking some damage, dropping about half life, but I don't think he's going to be able to stay on top of him. Oh, but Polywog Priest comes in. There's the Hex, and Tremble will fall as well. This is going to be huge here for the Legion team. They're going to take him out after the token of life resurrection, and Tralfendor will be dead. He can resurrect with a buyback, but that'll cost a lot of money, of course. Now, they did kill the melee rack, so that is the good news here for Trademark eSports, but Fnatic Raycall, man, I mean, I smell a comeback.
Yeah, they are hanging in there, and just come back loosely. I mean, they were behind, but Mage Bane has still been out of control in this game. Now that he has the Wingbow, you can just see and hear how fast he's attacking and how much it hurts. Hitting for 300 every auto attack. Absolutely ridiculous. You're absolutely, oh, pardon me.
Sorry, no.
Well, I actually didn't have a point, so just go for it.
All right.
Just go for it. I was going to say Hani bought back, but big deal.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yep. Actually, Hani's first death of the game as well. 1-1 and 7.
Wow, yeah, that's true. But yeah, buyback use for him, and again, that's a stat that we want to keep our eye on as this game progresses. Here now at that 42, really 43-minute mark. Well, the point I was going to bring up, I mean, you're getting into a case now where you kind of stress on the Legion side, you know, the lack of follow-up damage output, especially surrounding this Mage Bane, let alone from him with the initial item pickups. But now with that Wingbow, you know, definitely help for that. And then you got Bubbles and Polywog Priest. They're going to start progressing now in terms of their item choices. And I wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Hellflower coming out in the near future for one of these two guys can prove to be very, very useful. So as this game goes on, that will be the dangerous thing, another dangerous thing for that matter, that Trademark eSports will have to deal about. But going back to Mage Bane, I mean, again, he's really at a point of symbol of rage and then buyback money. I mean,
yeah, that's it. But you know, the good news for Fnatic Raid Call, although they have used 2 of those buybacks, actually Troppendor bought back after that last fight as well. So he did end up using that buyback.
He did,
though sort of interesting how that ended up. Why did he buy back?
Well, I mean, they were starting to push a little bit, so it's really just a case of, you know what, I might as well buy back just because it's coming, and I might as well do it sooner than later type deal. Yeah. So he did buy back, and yeah, it's, you know, you could say that is what ultimately got Fnatic, you know.
That's a good point. Yeah,
turn them around.
One of those, yeah.
But I was going to say, you know, bring up a point about Mage Bane. You might say, you know, Rune Cleaver, you could probably get rid of that. As, by the way, wow, he goes to the top tower, just destroys it. And now he's going to blink away most likely as soon as possible. Oh, no, he's going to stay on the melee racks, actually. He's going to try to get some baiting going on. In comes the Illuna Stone. There's a Geometer Spin, though, shortly after. And Mage Bane is looking very aggressive right now. The Polywalk Priest wards are down. They want to get this melee rack. Storm Spirit going to be used on the Mage Bane, keeping him alive for a little bit longer. And there's the melee rack. It's even denied, actually, but it doesn't matter. The jump comes and the kill fill coming out from Bubbles. And Mage Bane in the midst of it all, tearing up Illuna. Tremble's falling quickly, and Tremble will fall to the ground. Mage Bane another blink, and we do see the buyback from Tremble once again. So it's second and final buyback, but Mage Bane is just too damn beefy. Parasite jumps in, will finish off Polywalk Priest, and now it looks like they are going to start pushing back our Legion team. So that was looking a little bit overwhelming right there, but oh, Mage still being. Mage Bane jumps back in, and Mage Bane, oh, he wants to kill Forsaken Archer, but the nice Hellfire at the last second, keeping him from doing so, but it doesn't matter. Forsaken Archer goes down, the blink on a Pharaoh, and Pharaoh, oh, again, the Mana Rift doesn't go off because of the mini stun. He keeps on trying, but it's not working. They're going to go back to the range tracks instead, and, well, he'll probably be satisfied with that. So, absolutely. Game not over still, but Fnatic Raid Call, no doubt, taking a big advantage here, and Mage Bane going to keep the pressure on.
Exactly. Fnatic Raid Call is now in a great spot. As you mentioned, Troppendor out of buybacks. Moon Meander with only 1 left, though he's not going to have enough gold if he dies, I do believe, unless he picks up a couple kills before then. This tier 3 tower in the mid lane, dangerously low, actually in deny range. That will fall with the next push quite easily. And Mage Bane now with 5,000 gold. And the point I meant to make earlier when I kind of spaced out, he still has both of his buybacks left, and that is absolutely huge for Era right now.
Yeah, that's that is very good. What did he buy, by the way? Did you mention that? No, post haste. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
There he goes, selling the Steam Boots and buying the post haste. So.
Kongor should be coming up again relatively quickly here. Our Legion side, Fnatic Raid Call, does have a Ward of Sight about to expire just outside of the pit. Well, I guess on their side of the river, so they're going to want to ward that up pretty quickly. This will be the 3rd Kongor respawn, so of course the token will fall as well as the bananas. And this Kongor kill is going to be so important, and I think whichever team secures Kongor, if that becomes the reality in this game, is really going to be in good shape, given how close it is now.
Is it the 3rd Kongor? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess it is, huh? So. Wow. Axe of the Malphite just purchased on Mage. Okay.
Symbol of Rage.
Symbol of Rage, yeah.
Whoa. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Couldn't resist.
No, I was freaking out there. For some reason, I'm like, is he going another Behemoth's Heart?
Who, Behemoth?
What is he doing? No, yeah, Symbol of Rage is going to be picked up. But again, he's going to have over 3,000 life, I believe, once he gets this delivered. And that's just another thing that, I mean, we saw how difficult it already was for them to kill him in that last fight. Now the fact that he has over 3,000 life. Oh, oi, 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 that's not good here for our Hellborn side when it comes down to being able to take him out. So this is definitely coming down to a pretty epic finish here. I mean, we're 47 minutes in. It's only a 2,600 gold lead overall for our Legion team now, as well as a 4,900 experience lead. So in that sense, it's very, very even here. But of course, as we always say, you know, there's definitely a lot more to the game than just those simple stats.
Oh yeah,
at the top of the screen. So.
Especially this late in the game. I mean, it's buildings are gonna die so fast now. I mean, we can see how fast that top lane of Rax, as well as even the middle of lane of Rax for Fnatic Raid Call went down, and it's just how strong these heroes are. So any second that they can attack these towers or these structures is very, very valuable time, which makes the late game that we're getting into now particularly potent. We see Mage Bane, point in case right here, doing a hell of a lot of damage to the melee Rax, now moving over to the ranged Rax, trying to bait yet again. Same thing as last night. This positioning from Fnatic is spot on. The fight's continuing though, Breaky.
There we go. Polywalk Priest gets jumped in the back row. We do see Polywalk Priest actually going to be low with the Void Talisman at the last second. Going to keep him alive for now. The Storm Spirit on Ophelia. And Mage Bane joins the party as well as Bubbles with that kill. Down goes Pharaoh. Luna will fall. And now Parasite in a lot of trouble as well. He will portal key away to safety, but Forsaken Archer getting caught out. Forced to turn around and run away. Pharaoh activating the Barb Armor. They're trying to make a last stand right here at defending against Fnatic Raid Call, but will it be enough? The blink in from Mage Bane. He does have his Mana Rift actually if he wants to use it. Choosing not to use it just yet, though. He's going to come back in, however, with that rune. There's the mana ref. There he goes. They want a Parasite, and Parasite will fall. But he's in well range, actually. And arrow's going to go down right there because of the well damage. What a mummy wall from Beacon. Trapping him in the mummy walls in the well range, and at least takes him out. So, man, they needed that because he was just going to keep it going.
He does not have enough for a buyback, Breaky.
Oh, my
90 seconds, Magebane is going to be down. This could be huge for TDM.
Tremble is at the bottom lane already. You do see, yeah, 90 seconds where he is going to be dead now. And I don't think he will eventually get it. I think it's close to the 1,800 gold marker or so. But yeah, Tremble is not going to push it, it looks like.
Wow.
So
I don't know. This looks like a big opportunity. If Kongor respawns, Kongor is up, so TDM could try and take out that third Kongor kill, as we mentioned. Although it doesn't look like they're too interested. They're all running down to this bottom lane. Is TDM going to go all in here? Their base is taking a lot of damage.
That's what they're feeling, yeah. You look at the, oh my God, speak of that. The Shrine's
got nerd chills,
right here, the defensive tower. That is going to start dropping at the Sacrificial Shrine. So yeah, TDM basically saying, you know what? You're up in 45 seconds. We have 45 seconds to do as much damage as possible to your base and try to make it this game, if not even, so to get the victory in our favor. And I don't know if this is going to work out for TDM, but we'll see. They are going to group up here in the middle. Are they going to go straight for the Shrine? That would be something. Yeah, they're going to go for the range Drax, and here we go. They're going to go straight down the middle into the World Tree, it looks like.
22 seconds.
No, okay, never mind. They're going to go bottom, so never mind. They're going to go deep at the tower down here. This is going to fall easily. I like what Fnatic's doing. They're playing very passive. They know that they need Magebane. No point to rush this here. So the deep at the tower will fall. The melee racks will fall. And you do see No-Tail up here putting down the ward. So going in with the post save. So the melee racks go down at the bottom lane. And the range racks taking a bit of damage. Magebane will finally be resurrecting here. But the tower at the Sacrificial Shrine has been destroyed. So I don't know about that decision right there from Trademark eSports. A kind of iffy,
No, they did not capitalize right there. They got a huge pick on Magebane. They had 90 seconds to do something, and pretty much all they did was take out that ranged racks in the mid. In the bottom lane, they took out the melee racks as well, but that's just not enough. Maybe Kongor would have been the right choice there and then pressing forward. Now they're going to be hard-pressed to get another situation like that where they can catch Magebane without buyback money.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so tough. I want to say that I want to kind of agree with you, but at the same time, maybe that was the best decision. I mean,
it just didn't work out.
They did get 2 melee racks. In that sense, you know, that is the good news. They're tied with him, and that's after the Pharaoh missing right there, trying to hit Glacius. But here we go with Kongor now. They're at least going to maybe look to attempt it a little bit. No, but the imp coming in from Ophelia right there, sending it in, and going to scout things out. So I don't know. They did get the 2 racks, like I said. They got some pushing power. Now they did lose their tower at the Sacrificial Shrine, so yeah. It's really tough to say, you know, if they actually come out top. Look at Magebane. I love it. He's up here by himself. He's just so ballsy right now. If he gets caught, I mean, this game is over. Well, he does have a buyback now.
Yeah.
But
and he still has those 2 buybacks. That's important to note
that's
also.
True.
That's wow. I don't know, man. This has turned into a hell of a game now. 51 minutes in. We are into the late game. Forsaken Archer's getting beefy. She has now completed that Savage Mace, so the evasion from the wing bow is now mitigated, at least from Forsaken Archer's perspective. So that is a step in the right direction, trying to shut down this Magebane. We'll see. It looks like Tremble working his way towards a Savage Mace as well. He does have that Slayer.
Yeah. Well, the point I was going to bring up earlier was with the Rune Cleaver on Magebane. So you could argue you could replace that Rune Cleaver with another item, but the big thing with the Rune Cleaver is that, sure, it's for that early game farm potential and enhancing that, but even in the late game stage, it's so effective for cleaning up the creep waves that are pushing into your base, or vice versa, you know, pushing into the other team's base, cleaning up the creep waves because the AoE. And you see right here, he runs up to these melee racks historic creeps, and he's going to just destroy them before the creep wave even gets there himself. So a Rune Cleaver is still a very, very effective item on him. Despite it now being 52, 53 minutes into the game. So I would find it hard to believe that he is going to replace that. Instead, just save it again all up for the buyback. So poured in from Bubbles right here with the post haste. It looks like they're going to think about doing something now.
Yeah, they're getting to that point where they want to make it happen. Magebane now has 4K gold, so he will definitely have a buyback, even if he gets taken out in this fight. We can't forget that Kongor is still alive. Both teams sort of danced around the pit a little bit, but there is some warding action. Nova did throw down a Ward of Revelation, so right now Fnatic Raid Call does have control of the Kongor pit as far as vision is concerned, though of course TDM will most likely be expecting them to do that if they don't pop up on the minimap within a few seconds.
Yeah, well, that Tormented Soul, I mean, it's going to give the Hellborn team a big chance of obviously knowing when that Kongor's happening, as well as the Illuna for that matter. So Yeah, they definitely have a good amount of chance to stop a possible Congo kill if Fnatic goes for that. So I think that's maybe a big reason too. As if for now look at Magebane just blinks right in. The Hellfire's applied, and Magebane a lot of damage. Here comes the rest of the throw. Now he will take the Storm Spear right there. The kill not coming out just yet. Magebane able to blink away. Look at the heals coming out. He goes back into the fight. Tremble still well alive. Pharaoh in the midst of it all. Nobody has died just yet somehow, but Magebane now turning this around, pounding, and he even blinks in forward onto Tremble, as well as a little, but the CC starts to come out. But I think the evasion is so powerful right now for him because it doesn't seem like he's taking a whole lot of damage despite those right-click auto attacks, but they haven't killed the tower just yet. Glacius falls. Everyone is still up for the Hellpoint team because of buybacks, I'm guessing. Yeah, it looks like, of course, Tremble did buyback.
Yeah. No.
There.
No.
What's that?
Nova was the only one to die in that fight. Trout's been out of buybacks for a good 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I didn't think he died, but yeah, wow, okay.
No. Nova was the only one to go down.
Oh, jeez.
After all that.
After all that, all right,
level
there you
10
go.
Glacius.
That was a hell of a stand there from Trademark eSports, but here comes that Congo attempt now. There, they are spotted. Are they going to commit to this? Double damage Magebane. This is going to be interesting. Nope, it looks like they're going to start falling back.
Uh-oh. I'm curious, who's going to take the bananas and who's going to take the token if Fnatic is able to take out Kongor. But some action coming in, and actually, Zephyr going to blink into the Kongor pit.
Look at this sneaky bastard.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's up on the high ground there. Yeah, there we go. I was like,
Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro.
I wonder if he is waiting.
Oh, he can steal the double damage here. Uh-oh.
He could, but then he'd probably die. Is it really worth it? Oh my God, he's hiding. They don't know he's here.
This is incredible. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that before.
No clue he's here.
That is incredible.
Can you imagine if he actually steals a token? Because he will be spotted. Was he not spotted? Okay, yeah, now he's definitely was spotted. He's going to portal key away. We do see up here though the Shrunken Head activated, then jumps Magebane. Forsaken Archer dropping quickly, but Magebane getting locked in himself. However, there goes Forsaken Archer down. Pharaoh will fall as well, and this could be near the end right now. Tremble starting to take a lot of damage. Magebane still well alive. Tremble will go down, and Aluna just completely on the run. So Fnatic Raycall going to put their foot on the trigger right now, and they are going to push into the Sacrificial Shrine. I think you're right. I expect those GGs to be called soon. There's nothing they can do about it. Forsaken Archer and Tremble, no buybacks from them whatsoever.
Doombringer picked up on Magebane. The glyph going to be used at this point, though. There is not much as Hellborn side can do. I can see Magebane get locked down, but that lifesteal kind of keeping him alive here. Trying to focus down the Shrine, actually. Of course, if they can kill Magebane and pick up the Doombringer, things can get very interesting. But Pharaoh going to get 3-shot by Magebane there. Aluna going to sit in the well. Zephyr doing everything he can, going to use that Codex, but unfortunately, that level 1 Codex just not going to do enough damage to Era. The GG well played comes out from TDM, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Fnatic Raid Call going to be going to the Dream Arena yet again to face off against.
Your returning DreamHack champions are going back to the finals, and DreamHaN here. Congratulations to Fnatic Raid Call. Man, I can't say I'm surprised, but boy, what a series that was. TDM, they definitely gave it their all. They had chance. They had the lead in that game, that's safe to say. But the perseverance from Fnatic Raid Call, the fact that they just built that team solely around Magebane and Era playing it, and it worked out in the end. Just fantastic strategy worked out by Fnatic, and they deserve that victory all the way through.
Absolutely, just crisp execution. And I was getting a little bit nervous. I was thinking Moon Meander and Troutmandor were getting to that point where they were just enough carry power to overtake this Magebane. But alas, Breaky, never underestimate the power of a Magebane, especially if he has a team built around him.
That was something. That was quite the performance there from Fnatic. Obviously, having some technical issues there, so delaying things a little bit. But hey, we got the result that we're looking for, at least a team winning, so that's what matters. So TDM, I will say, of course, being from North America, having that USA pride, a little bit unfortunate knowing that they are now out of it, but it's, being knocked out by Fnatic Raid Call, it's, can't take that too hard. So
exactly. An absolutely fantastic game. Although it did have its dull moments, it was quite climactic at the end. Definitely had some nerd chills going on there.
And I think, in fact, I think the next series is actually just about ready. So, again, we're going to be having the next series going to be coming up in the near future here, guys. That's going to be TT Esports versus BlackFade.org, of course, for the other semifinals to see who will be playing Fnatic Raid Call in the grand finals and competing for part of that $60,000 prize pool here at DreamHack Summer 2012 for the DreamHoN event. To wrap this one up, we're going to go to a quick break, guys. We will be back, though. So once again, I'll break CBK.
And I'm Zyori. Another set of semifinals coming your way here at DreamHack Summer 2010.